Okay, everyone. Welcome back to part 2, the 15 minutes of fame, and who's ready for 10 more amazing Marketers Cruise leaders? Yeah! We want to keep the schedule. I want to introduce you to someone else on our team that's decided to come and participate full out on this amazing Marketers Cruise adventure, and she is the owner, along with Marissa, of My Compass Tours. They are the people that set up the private tours on Aruba and Bonaire and Curacao, of which many of you are participating. They've got all your information. They've got a voucher if you've lost one. They've got your names on the manifest, and they may have a few more tickets available for those that want to join that maybe didn't get the message. So I want you to meet one half of the team from My Compass Tours. Melanie, come on up here. Melanie Rowland, for 1 minute. Melanie, it's all yours.
Thank you. I didn't prepare my 30-second speech, so I apologize.
Do a minute.
A minute. I do just want to reiterate, if anybody's booked with us, we are separate from Carnival, so it's private tours just for the marketers group. And also, one thing to remember that's really important is that ship time and local time are different. So it'll be 1 hour forward on local time, which is what the tours run on. So just pay attention to that. And if you have any questions...
So what does that mean if it's here?
Okay, so if, for example, it says tomorrow that we're getting in at 9 o'clock ship time, it'll be 10 o'clock Bonaire time.
Already.
So 1 hour ahead. So just pay attention to, most of the tours that we have are going to be, for example, the first one starts at 10:15 tomorrow. So you'll get off the ship if you're on the cave tour for Bonaire. If you're on the snorkel trip, that will be at 10:30. Look for Marissa and myself. We'll be out there to make sure everybody's going to the right tour and on time. And then I do want to announce that we do have one opening for Curacao, the Jeep and snorkel trip. We had somebody that had to cancel last week, and so we have one spot open if anybody wants to go on the Jeep and snorkel trip. It's $128, and there's only 14 marketers on that tour. So it's a really small, intimate tour. And then we also have lots of space for Aruba, the highlights tour, if anybody wants to join Marissa and I. And that's about it. So if you've emailed me or called and I haven't heard back or you haven't written me back, please come see us at the back entrance of the table. So.
Question.
Always look at
Hi. So ship's time is Miami time, which is Eastern time. So it's if it's 9:15 on the ship, it's already 10:15 in the islands.
Local time, and it will say on your voucher, local time.
So all the tours are local time, so meaning island time, which means it's already an hour ahead. So if it's 10 a.m. on your voucher, it's 9 a.m. on the ship. So don't have your third cup of coffee lingering thinking the tour is going to wait for you. Now, how do they meet the tours?
Right, so all on your vouchers, if you don't have them, again, come see us. You can take a screenshot of the meeting instructions, but it will have exact meeting instructions, the company where they'll be, what time. Again, look for Marissa or I will be out there to help direct you into the right area. But do read your vouchers, and if you don't have them, come and see us.
Now remember, the Carnival Shore Excursions Desk cannot help you. They're the competitors of Melanie and Marissa. So you really want their help and guidance, and any information you need, they will be at the Angel Desk to help and get you set up. Okay, does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Everybody
Melanie.
enjoy.
Thank you for a great job done, always. And now, let's bring it over to Tom to introduce our first of many, many presenters.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, who's ready for post-lunch knowledge? Let me hear it. Put your hands together. We are in for some treat. We have 15 minutes of fame with some amazing presentations coming your way. There's going to be notes. There's going to be things you can apply immediately to grow your results, grow your efforts, grow your profits. And first, we're kicking it off with Lady Jen Duplessis. She is known as the Impact and Scaling Architect. Lady Jen is the leading expert in building world-class teams. She works with high-achieving corporations, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are stuck at the six-figure mark and want to reach seven figures and beyond. Through her masterminds, she helps people hyperscale revenue and build powerful teams. She's been in the financial services industry for 4 decades and funded over $1 billion in mortgage loans. Jen believes it's time to move from working in and on your business to living above and beyond. Would you help me warm welcome for the Marketers Cruise 15 Minutes of Fame, Lady Jen Duplessis.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, so my mentor, and I have many of them here, by the way, just so you all know. There must be 7 people that have mentored me here. But my mentor, Les Brown, says that if you're casual about your business will become a casualty. Yes? Casual about your business will become a casualty. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life is going to be hard. Is that making sense with anybody? Yeah. Okay, so how many of you are working really long, hard hours because he said you should work hard? Yes? Raise your hands. I don't hear anybody. I get the afternoon crowd all the time. I get the post-lunch people. I don't know how it happens. I'm going to have to put it in my contract. So I know. It just happens. So wake up, everybody. Yeah, so so one of the things that I realize is that working really hard, long hours is not what Les was talking about. He was talking about doing the hard work for a while so that your life can be easy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about today about scaling, but a little bit about me. So this just shows all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and read this with you guys, right? Award-winning international speaker, author of numerous, I have 21 #1 best-selling books. I have one more coming out this year. I'm the host of 3 podcasts now. TV show producer and host with JD3. I'm on JD3 as well. Entrepreneur and performance, 4 decades. And yes, I funded over $1 billion in mortgage loans, which less than 25 people have done in the United States. And guess what? I'm one of 2 women who did it. And I'm an avid real estate investor. But that all, and having all kinds of awards, and I have to kind of go through this because I only have 15 minutes, right? So this is our normal thing. I've been on all kinds of magazines and this, that, and the other. And yes, I'm part of the Royal Order of Constantine the Great and St. Helen, which is just a beautiful thing and so exciting for us now. And since my husband's picture showed up, I think most of you have met him because he's pretty funny. Brian back there, we just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Hold on, I got my back. Thank you. Thanks, Molly. Appreciate it. I've been on over 1,300 podcasts and radio shows, and I have been on over 600 stages, and I am speaking in Paris on March 8th for the International Women's Day. And so I'm so excited to go to Paris for that. So I've just had some fun being a speaker, but listen, it all started not like that. I want to make sure you all understand that. So my name's Jennifer, but you cannot call me Jennifer, it's too formal. And I dare you to call me Jenny. I'm a concealed weapons carrier, and who knows if I have one on the ship. But I am a concealed weapons carrier, and I do not go by Jenny. So I'm one of 36 first cousins in a big Catholic family. We all had nicknames: Spartan Martin, Dan the Man, Gene the Machine, and Jenny who ain't got a penny.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. Yeah, so that's how I was known as Jenny Ain't Got a Penny. And my uncle said to me, you know, Jenny, your dad is an alcoholic, so you will be one too. Your mother's a verbal abuser, and you will be a verbal abuser as well. And they're poor, so you'll be poor. And I set out on a whole trip of, you know what, I'm going to prove to you guys that I can make it. But I took that into my work life. I took it into my personal life, right, and everything that I accomplished, or everything that I did, I'll get to it. Everything that I did, I took it in there, and I set out on a life of proving, which is why I succeeded so well in the mortgage business, being the top 200 loan officers out of 800,000, right? Until one day, I was at dinner with my family, and I got a phone call. Anybody had that phone call before? I have to take the phone call because my client needs me, they need me. So I went outside, and I was walking on what I call the concrete balance beam. Does anyone know it? Talking and walking and talking, right? Hi. I was even opening doors for people in the restaurant, but I wasn't getting paid for it, right? But I was opening doors in the restaurant, and I was walking and talking, looking all proud, because, you know, I wanted to be that person. And then I looked over into the restaurant window, and there they were. They were having a blast, creating all these beautiful memories, but I wasn't in them. And I had had enough. And that's when I decided things have to change. And I realized I had become an alcoholic, a workaholic. I had become a verbal abuser because my family expected too much from me while I was trying to climb the ladder of success and prove. Are you with me? Yes? So I set out on this journey and said, I got to figure it out. So it took me 3 years to do it. In the 3 years that it took me to figure out what is the mechanism, what's the code, there's got to be a code to success. I was doing fine. I was doing $50 million a year. I was in the 1%, top 1%. But I set out and said, there's got to be a way to do this in shorter period of time, right? So I happened to be in my office a few years later, and I get this plaque in the mail, and it says, congratulations, you're in the top 200 loan officers in the country, out of on this 800,000. And I was doing it working 4 days a week, and I still only work 4 days a week. So that's my story. So everybody said, well, how do you do it? And I said, well, we're going to learn how to smart scale. So are you all up for smart scaling? How can you do this? So I believe you can live your legacy while you're building it. I believe that you can have a work life that makes life work. Stop working the long hours. Put in the hard work now, and then have the easy life for the rest of your life. The problem is everybody thinks this is what success is. It may be for you. How many, I'm not going to ask, I hate asking the question how many. I'm 60. So back then, if you had a Mont Blanc pen, you were successful. You guys remember that? And then I got my Mont Blanc pen and I was like, well, this isn't what I want. And I realized that my success is different. So everyone has a different type of success. For me, this is what success looks like. We now have 4 grandkids. So I like spending time with them. And I'm not going to talk about this. I don't have time in 15 minutes. But I do want to tell you this. This is funny. I talk about this all the time. We tend to be walking around and running around eating soup with a fork. We're not fulfilled. We're not full. We're buying every shiny object that's out there, right? Because we think that's going to be the magic bullet. But SOS stands for... So when you think about buying these shiny objects, think about the fact that you might need more help than what this object can get for you. Are you with me? Okay. So so this is what happened when I was out there walking the concrete balance beam. I realized, it's not all about mechanics. It's not all about what the business is. It is about having the right mindset. And I had to shift my mindset to move from proving to living. And that's what I love sharing with others. So I ended up at the end of being in the top 200 loan officers. I also funded 102 million, not 50 million, and my income went from 400,000 to 1.4 million. And so I now have cracked the code, and I want to share with you. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to pop these up here. You've already heard in, on, above, and beyond, right? So what if please, audience participation, don't work in your business, work on. Okay, yeah. The problem with that is that you're oscillating between having to take care of your business by yourself, and we have a problem letting go to grow. And we have a lid on our business because we don't know who we need to hire. And I love when people say to me, I just need a mini-me, and I think, oh God, no. Not a mini-you. That's the last thing you need because you're just going to get more of what you have. So, I'm going to share with you how to make this change. So the first stage, there's 3 stages. How many stages? 3. Okay. 3 stages. The first stage is me. I am the finder, the minder, and the grinder in my business. Everything comes to me, finder, minder, grinder. Second stage, methods. So this is when you're saying, you know what, I think I could hire somebody, but I don't know who to hire. I hired them and, they were terrible. Instead of, I wasn't ready. Not more thumb pointing, right? And what you're doing is enabling here for them because they have to come to mommy and daddy and say, what's the next step? Your process is in your head and not written down, and so that's what's keeping you back from scaling. Okay, so Bill talked about process, right? Procedures, systems, all of that. You've got to get those out of your head and into some format so that you can hire people to do that position for you. But the magic starts when you go to the third, and this is messaging. Stage 3 is messaging, and this is the above part. So in messaging, there are 3 V's. How many V's?
3.
Okay, great. 3 V's in messaging. The first is, you've got to have your vision for your company. Now, we're all in personal development and whatnot. Thank you. We're all in personal development and whatnot. And so we know what we want to do for ourselves personally, but have we thought about what we want to do for our businesses? So you need to have a vision for your business. This is not your, it's vision, right? I just want to make sure that everybody knows it's your vision. That's the first thing that you need to have, is your vision. The second thing that you need to have is the values. What are the values? What are the non-negotiables for your business? For example, in my personal life, faith, family, right, stability, all those things are important to me. But they may not necessarily transcend into my business. So are you with me on that? You have to have a different set of values for your business. What are these non-negotiables? Do you return phone calls in 2 minutes? Do you return them in 24? How do you return phone calls? Do you only text? Do you use emojis? What do you do, right? So you've got to have your core values. The key here is your team has got to know what those are too. Cannot allow for you to be the only one who knows what they are. So the first question is, do you know what they are? The second is, have you told your team? And I don't care if you're doing 5 figures, I don't care if you're doing 6, and all of us who are making 7 and 8 and 9 figures, you're not at 10, 12, and 15 because there are still holes. Sorry, just being a disruptor like Bill. Right? Last but not least is your voice. Are you formal? Are you humorous? Do you type? Do you use emojis? Do you cuss? Right? What do you do in your business? Is that making sense? Gotta get your voice. When you go to Starbucks, they say, what can we get started for you? When you go to McDonald's, they say, can we take your order? That's voice. That's voice. You have to know that. So, when you do that, don't make a ripple, make a splash. Watch what happens with your business and how it grows. Very simple and easy. This becomes our life. And yes, you guys are going to see it here later on too. Our boat's called That's What She Said. And we have hats that we wear. Yeah. But this then becomes our life, and this becomes for me what's important. And I said before, create a work life that makes life work. So, 15 minutes goes by fast. I have an app. Remember his mom was up here? I already have his app. So you can go to your app store, J.Duplessis. You'll find me. But I do have an app, so go ahead and grab that. I also want to let you know that I have an online course that is called Letting Go to Grow. So I want to offer that to all of you to take free and on your own time. So you can take a shot of that. You guys have screens of it. So Letting Go to Grow. And I'll start helping you think differently with that mindset, because it's not just the mechanics. Oh, and last but not least, to get your mind going, here's another free gift for you, 7 strategies to transform your business mindset. It's just a quick PDF that I want to give with you, just to be thinking about it. So with that said, I'm going to be at Peace and Profits too. Please come and talk to me. I really am a nice person. I really am. And I know that a lot of people think that what they see is like, oh, she be that. I'm not. I'm really very funny, and I love people. So please make sure you come to me. And I want to leave you with this quote that my mom always said. She said, we flatter those we scarcely know. We please the fleeting guests, but we deal many a thoughtless blow to those we love the best, including ourselves. Stop dealing these thoughtless blows to yourselves and live the life that you've always intended to do. Transform your career into a lifestyle. And if it resonates with me, whether it's me or someone else, get help. Get coaches. I have 3 coaches right now. Don't work with a coach who doesn't have a coach. I will tell you that too. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for my little 15 minutes of fame.
Well done. Awesome. Pick up some good insights from that, some good nuggets. Absolutely. You're in for a treat, because there's more to come, ladies and gentlemen. And we are improvising, adapting, and overcoming as we speak. So while I'm talking, I'm going to plug this in real quick. And we're going to rock this thing out. All right. You're seeing the real world in action here. So, Dr. Emily, which one is the right one?
Hey, while they're pulling that up, let me just go ahead and remind you guys to make sure to put pictures that you take
Excuse
up
me.
on the page.
Excuse me, Andrea.
Oh, you didn't
If
want
you're going to
to-
speak,
Oh, would you
okay,
like to-
it is better to ask for forgiveness than permission, but you should at least ask for a microphone.
Thank you. So, one thing I did do out of love is when you have somebody whose PowerPoint is being not looked at, you distract them by coming over here and making noise and saying something about put up pictures and make sure that you guys are, tagging everybody and putting up things. And I did that out of love because I'm up here because I wanted to make sure Emily and the home were being looked at.
Why are they doing something naughty?
No, but just in case they are, we want to give them that space.
Yes, we want to give them that space. That was quick.
We're their comedic timing. Okay. I love you, Lou. So anyhow, make sure you guys are putting up pictures. I'll be putting up pictures after the cruise so you guys can see them. And tag everybody because everybody wants to be loved on the cruise and they want to see the pictures.
Yes, they do. And because what happens on the Marketers Cruise stays on Facebook. Correct. Okay. So how are we doing? So Mr. John Adams reminded me there are a few, this is a very high-level audience we have here, but there are a few newbies. Not just newbies to cruising. How many of you have never been on a cruise ever before? Show of hands. So this is your first, wow. And you're combining it with your first ever Marketers Cruise. But if you're really a newbie to the world of internet marketing, someone invited you, a friend, you came with someone, then and you feel a little bit of overwhelm and information overload, then please just focus on 2 or 3 people that you resonate with and get help from them and speak to them. And don't feel like you have to meet and know everyone in this 8 days and that you have to know everything in this 8 days. We have the beginning of 2024 and a whole lot of fantastic adventures together to come and success to come. Tom.
All right, and we are off and running, ladies and gentlemen. So you see, you try to remain calm, cool, and collected when stuff doesn't go to plan. Who likes that? Internally, you may be going crazy, but externally, you look calm, cool, and collected. So we improvise, adapt, and overcome, and all works out one step at a time. Everybody on board? We're good with this? Mm-hmm. So we are in for a treat for this next presentation. I'm going to be there listening because I'm excited to learn from Lady Dr. Emily Letran. She is a world-renowned serial entrepreneur and private coach to many professionals. She's an international speaker and shared stages with countless business leaders. She's been featured on several magazines, Top Doctor, Global Woman, as well as media like Yahoo Finance, Forbes, USA Today, and Fox. She's a contributing writer for industry magazines. Dr. Letran is the founder of Exceptional Leverage Inc., host of Action to Win seminars, author of several books, and a certified Colby consultant. And we're in for a treat today by Lady Dr. Emily Letran. Put your hands together for her, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. It's my absolute honor to be here. Thank you, Captain Lou and the team for putting on this great event. Thank you, Jenny, for finishing that presentation. Where'd you go? Thank you, everyone, for coming in after lunch to sit through this. So, my name is Dr. Emily Letran. And this clicker is not working. Oh, you know what? So, sorry. A little.
There we go.
Go to the next one. So I was actually born in war-torn Vietnam back in the late 60s during the Vietnam War. Hold on. You want to put this on?
I'll click it for you.
Okay. But we need to get the. There's a reason why we want some pictures. You think it's better if I stand here?
No, I'll click it. Tell me when to click.
Okay. Can you open up to the page? next one. So in 1981, I was one of those few boat people who escaped from communist Vietnam and actually made it to a refugee camp. Next slide. And I've been very blessed to be featured in all those magazines, Forbes, Yahoo, USA Today, and many industry magazines, and work with a lot of sponsors. So the journey from born in Vietnam and coming to this country and achieving success, that's what I want to share with you today, some of the strategies. Are you interested in that? Yeah. Yes? Okay. So I've been very blessed to learn from a lot of gurus. Currently, I'm working with Dan Kennedy. He's a marketing guru that a lot of us know. I'm one of his private clients. I've written books. There are books for my own customers, my dental patients, and there are books for my coaching clients because I coach across industries. This is an example of a book that I wrote for dentists. I co-authored a book with Dan Kennedy, and if you read the No BS newsletter, this past November, I was featured in there with some of the marketing examples. And then this year, he's going to launch his new book, No BS, and I'm going to be featured in there too. And I'm sharing that with you, not to brag, I'm sharing that with you to let you know that I'm a student, that I learn and I implement, and that's what I think is required for success. I've spoken internationally in Dubai, Egypt, India, on the Think and Grow Rich Summit as a virtual summit, and feature on magazines. So I want to share with you what to do to be an ass kicker in your own economy. The first thing is to have clarity. Clarity is knowing who you are, what's most important to you, what are your values, what is going to be the needle mover for you. Because a lot of time, in order to achieve what you want, you have to get out of that comfort zone to get to success. A lot of times when people fail, it's the lack of intention. You didn't set out to do certain things. You didn't implement certain things. You just kind of go through your day in randomness, and then you didn't achieve your goals. When I set out with my dental office, I wanted to focus on the lifetime value of a patient or a customer. So my first dental office, I've had it for 26 years. And this couple right here, they've been in my dental office for 26 years with 4 generations. How many of you want to have customers for 4 generations? Pretty good, right? And if you worry, I want to encourage you to turn that worry, use that energy to learning knowledge. Focusing your energy on achieving knowledge. Because a lot of time, when we don't know what we don't know and we don't have a mentor, that's when we worry more because we couldn't get to what we want. The second thing, which is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, is courage. Courage is taking action even when you're fearful, even when you're not sure. And a lot of times what you want is going to be on the other side of fear. To overcome that, you have courage, and I want to remind you that you are incomparable. I want you to know that every one of you have a 100% track record of overcoming a bad day. So the next time you have a bad day, you remember, hey, I've gone through the bad days before. There's nothing to worry about. Courage is also required when you make difficult decisions, like maybe buying a new business. I just closed on my 8th dental practice, and every time I do that, it took a lot of courage. So it could be buying a business, it could be selling a business, maybe it's a divorce, maybe you got into a lawsuit. I went through a lawsuit for 5 years, and I won. Thank you. But it took a lot. It was a lawsuit against a dental insurance company. So it took a lot, it takes a lot, and you start wondering, do I know what I'm doing? But then you go for it anyway. Also, when you want to have courage, to show courage in your business, I want you to consider being outrageous. That means you don't care if you're different. I have these signs in my office. One say, yes, of course, I have a minute for you. My rate's $5 to listen. $10, pretend I'm interested. $20 is to sympathize, and $25 is I care. And I have people complaining, your signs are rude. And I said, you're in my house. These are my signs. And I have so many kids coming up to this side trying to push red button to complain. And the parents are screaming, no, it's gonna hurt. It's a prop, woman. But anyway, it's just in my office. I put on whatever I want. How about dressing up as Incredible? Right? It only took 5 shots to get me in the air. So I want to encourage you to develop the vision beyond your current circumstances, whatever it is. I want you to be involved in a lot of different ventures, a lot of businesses, learning new things, connecting with new people. This past year I became the associate producer of a Vietnamese movie. I can tell you all about it, a pizza, because I don't know about the profits part. And how many of you have heard that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with? I can assure you that it's absolutely not true with height. I try. I always take a picture with a tall person. But you know what? Keep smiling. Keep going. Have that courage, have that clarity, and focus on your business. And at this point, it is my absolute honor to bring up my partner in crime. Her name is Dawn Evans. She comes from the UK. She brings her own tribe, and she works with, little companies like the government. She puts on little events with 3,000 people. Who wants to learn from her? Yes, please put your hands together for Dawn Evans.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, so Emily did say she's my partner in crime. I had the privilege of going to Necker Island back in 2018, and from Necker Island I got invited to Richard Branson's 70th birthday on his new cruise ship, and that's where I met this little lady, and I haven't been able to shake her off since. So yeah, that was a good thing to do. So obviously Emily had talked about courage, she talked about clarity, and when you get courage and clarity, you now need to know how to scale a business. I've scaled my companies, like Emily said, I now work for the government. I've trained over 100,000 people, and yes, I do large events too. So, first of all, before you scale your business, you need to know who your customers are. Because if you don't know who your customers are, how are you going to sell to them? So who are they? Where do they hang out? You need to hang out where they hang out. Is that on social media? Is that offline, online, in magazines? You need to hang out where they hang out. Or you need to make yourself visible. I bought my office, I bought it right in the centre of the city, and I put a big, massive fuck off sign on the top of the door so everybody knows I'm hanging out in there. And it's right next to the government's office too. So find out your customers' pain points, and if you can solve a problem or serve a need, then they will buy from you. They're not buying your product or your service, they're buying the solution that you're going to give to your clients. So ask yourselves, what solutions do you have that your clients need? And then sell it to them. Now, I couldn't have grown my business to training over 100,000 people by myself. I need a team. Everybody needs a team. And to get a team that's going to work hard for you, you need to trust them. I'm a control freak. I had to learn to let go. You need to reward them. Now, my staff get 1% of my net profits every single year. So they know the more money I earn, the more money they earn. So reward your staff. They get Amazon vouchers every time they hit a target each month. And they get trips, they get meals, and we work together. And I create a very flexible working environment. I create multiple income streams. I love first aid. That's what my training company originally did. But I knew that I wasn't going to get rich as first aid. So if you've got a product that is your passion, there's nothing wrong with delivering what your passion is, but sometimes your passion won't always make you rich. So what can you add to that passion? As Richard Branson said, find other people and add other products and services. So that's what I did. You know, first aid was my passion, and people like buying a one-stop shop. They like buying other products and services. So I just added all these products and services. I took them online, I took them offline. I went onto LinkedIn, I found a bunch of new trainers, and my clients were saying to me, do you do fire safety, do you do food safety, health and safety, fire training? And I just went, yes, 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 and then I went onto LinkedIn, and I found a bunch of trainers who were qualified to deliver that on my behalf. So you don't have to be the one doing all the donkey work. Find other people with the qualifications and the expertise that you don't have. Make them do the work. So you then add extra products and services, look to JV and collaborate, and make sure you're prepared to diversify. We all had to diversify in COVID. I earn money by putting bums on seats. I have training centres, I have education establishments. This thing I run events, like Emily said, with 3,000 people. I thought, how am I going to do that? 6 weeks before my major event with 6,000, the government told me I got to shut the building, I couldn't run my event. So I invested in technology. We can't do anything and everything, so make sure you invest in yourself, you invest in technology. It will improve your operations, it will innovate you, and it will stop you going bust. That was my solution to COVID. I took the whole event online. I had an interactive platform, and my event went ahead when thousands of others cancelled their events. So, you need to be able to replace yourself as well, because there's only 24 hours in every day. 8 of them you need to be sleeping. So, you can't do everything if you're going to scale your business. So, work on new products, get new people. The way you're going to get rich and the way you're going to scale is use other people's people and other people's money, yeah? You just need to coordinate it. And dream big. If your dreams are not scary enough, then they're not big enough. This is a venue for my first event. And I went to the City Hall and they said, which room do you want to hire? I said, I'm going to take the whole building. I did. I took the whole building. My first event was in 2017. And my husband came up to me and said, have you been downstairs to reception area? I said, please tell me people have turned up. They were queuing around the building. We had 3,000 people in 10 different seminar rooms. And that event has run every year since, still with 3,000 people. So dream big, because like I say, if your dreams are not scaring you, they're not big enough. Was I scared doing that? Yes, I was. So be prepared to scale, be prepared to work on new products. That will buy you back time, because at the end of the day, we're all looking for time, yeah? When you grow a business, you usually get time or money. You don't usually get both, unless you put systems and other people in place to replace you. I've now brought back happiness, and now I'm going to bring on the awesome Dr. Emily. That was the fastest time I've ever done a presentation, by the way. He's telling me to keep talking.
And actually, time's up.
Oh, there you go. Oops. Time's up, so quickly scan that, because that's a free ticket to our event. Dr. Emily and myself in the UK. It's called Action to Win, and you're going to have a whole host of experts showing you how to grow and scale your business. Thank you very much.
Take that picture very quickly. Lou's going to pull that drive out and start the next presentation soon. So 3, 2, 1. Good. We're good to go. Pull that one out. Here we go. All right. So teamwork makes the dream work, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got some good takeaways from this afternoon's presentations? Right? All day, there's been amazing takeaways. What I would ask you to consider is, after each presentation, what was the one thing that resonated from that presentation for me? What's the one takeaway that, with all the different notes and all the different aha moments, what's the one thing that makes a difference in my business, makes a difference on my trajectory? Is that a fair thing to ask? After each presentation, out of all that whole amazingness that just happened, what's the one thing that's pertinent to me? Write that down, circle it. That's why, when I sit in there and listening to these amazing people, after each presentation, what's the one thing? So there was a couple things that I picked up on today. One was, flashed me back to when I was bragging about how hard I was working. Who's ever caught themselves bragging how hard you're working? And I was sitting across from someone who actually worked with Jim Rohn the same time that Tony Robbins worked with Jim Rohn. And he said, Tom, I can tell that you're trying to have me pat you on the back for workaholism, which is the addiction that entrepreneurs, put on a pedestal. He said, so I can tell you want me to pat you on the back. He said, but that saddens me. Didn't you just have a baby? This was in early 2002. My son, who's now almost 22 next month, was just born. I said, yeah. He's like, aren't you recently married? I said, yeah. With how much you described how you're working, how much time are you spending with your new wife and baby? That was like a dagger through my heart. He said, if you want to impress me, accept this challenge. Get the same results in half the amount of time. Who wants to accept that challenge in your business? If you want to impress me, put a goal. Say, you know what? Is it even possible? Because when I first heard that, I said, that's impossible. I can't get the same results. So I said, what if it were possible? What if it were possible for me to get the same results in half the amount of my time? Ask yourself those questions. And if you're willing to accept that challenge, that was one I accepted back in early 2002. And lo and behold, following the systems we just talked about, building your team, replacing yourself, you can get the same things done without you having to be the one to do it. Does that make sense?
We're ready.
Cool. All right, cool. We're ready. Now, that was my little kill some time. Hopefully shared some value in there while we kill some time. Now we're in for more treats with this next presentation, and I would have you consider during it, what's the one big thing? And it's going to be from our amazing marketer's cruiser, Danella Burnett. She has been seen in Entrepreneur.com magazine, the LA Tribune, USA Today, and in her best-selling books, Visibility, Volumes 1 through 3, Coach, and In the Spotlight as well, as seen on hundreds of stages around the world. Our next speaker has grown her own 7-figure business through speaking, events, and publicity. Through her connections, millions of dollars have been generated and tens of thousands of lives impacted through speaking and live events. Danella and her team help busy entrepreneurs host profitable and impact events, and her speaker services get speakers on stages. She believes in multiple streams of income. Collaboration always finds the win-win-win combination. Owner of Encore Elite Events, Speakers Need to Speak, Icon Maker, and Podcast Magazine, Danella Burnett is a creative force with a passion for connecting experts to those they serve through speaking and events.
That's it, the 15 minutes are up.
Generating profitable and impactful visibility. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Danella Burnett!
Thank you, Rob. I did say you could shorten that. But yes, my time is done. That's what I do. So how many of you are speakers now? All right, keep your hands up. Those of you that have your hands down, how many of you desire to be a speaker, or you've been told you should take your message out there? So speakers need to speak. I'm going to challenge that actually a little bit. We don't necessarily need more speakers that are just talking. What we need are speakers who are solving problems. All right, let's see if I'm on here. All right, we need speakers that are solving problems first and know exactly who they're solving problems for. We have 120 speakers in our community that we put on stages. And many of them come to me, they're getting out on stages, but they're not getting results. And frequently, it's because they're out there talking. Talking is speaking without a strategy, without an idea of why you're talking, where you're talking, being in front of an audience that actually needs what you have to offer. So I do challenge, do we need more speakers or do we need more talkers to step into speaking? How many of you have an expertise that you know, I am damn good at what I do? I have an expertise through education, through experience, or through engineering, which is a combination of the two. That's usually when life smacks you upside down and you go, I better figure out how to figure this out. And then you can show others how to do that. How many of you are passionate about finding the people that have similar challenges and problems, like the clicker? And you're passionate about finding those people to make a difference. So you're both an expert and you're passionate. If that's the case, then yes, you need to be getting out there speaking. Can we go to the next one? If this is you, whether you're a 4-figure business, 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, speaking at events is without a doubt the most impactful, economical, and easiest way for you to get your information out there and to make a difference. So again, I asked, do we need speakers? We need speakers who are solving problems. We're going to move forward a little bit here. Thank you. real experts serving real problems and know exactly who they're meant to serve. This is another challenge that I frequently see with speakers. In fact, I was just stopped at the elevator yesterday by someone who said, 6 months ago I wasn't ready for you, Danella, but I'm ready for you now. I know exactly who my audience is. And she described to me who her audience was, and it was so specific. I said, that's great. When you have your own event, that's who will be sitting in the seats. But when you go speak on other people's stages, you need to find your right fit client in someone else's audience. So who is your right fit audience? What other problem is your right person seeking? Where else are they going to find solutions to their problems? Because you want to step onto the stage and provide an alternative. But if you have the exact same solution as the host, that would be your event, or they're not really going to welcome you there. So many of you are trying to get on stages where you're not welcome because you're trying to do what the host is doing. So what is your right fit audience? Expand your thought so you can find your right client. Let's go forward.
I think you're there.
No, it's not moving. And then you want to have the strategies in place. And then you can look for gigs. I like to think of gigs as guaranteed impact and guaranteed sales. Because if you're in the right place, you'll no longer be the world's best kept secret. You'll step out onto stages and you'll start making tons of money. Is it okay to make tons of money?
Yes.
The reason why it's okay to make tons of money from the stage is because you do want to make an impact. And there are things that you're going to have to do as a speaker ongoing. The 5 pillars, I think, of being a good speaker and being a profitable speaker is you're going to need to get gigs. You're going to need to understand events. You're going to need to get good and continue to get good. You're going to need to get paid. How are you making money from speaking? You might add more services. You might add more things. I had built a 7-figure business by stepping out onto the stage, but it wasn't always like this. This was me in 2008. I had a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old. I had worked my whole life for other businesses in the event space. I've been in the event space since I was 15, managing big events from 25 to 250,000 people. But my husband had a great job, so I got to have babies and I got to stay at home for 2 years. Shortly after that picture was taken, my husband came home with no job. Anyone else had a difficult time in 2008, or was it just us? He was out of work for 4 years. I could not find anything, but a woman at my church said, Danella, why don't you start your catering company from the kitchen of the church? So I did. We grew into an almost 7-figure catering company over the course of 10 years. Had a lot of fun managing festivals, managing events, but I started to do more things in the speaking and event arena. And frequently my days felt like this. I had 28 staff members in the kitchen. I was building my business through networking and referrals, which is a great way to grow your business, except I never knew when other people were going to think about me. It was great when someone called up and said, hey, Joyce said I should call you. You're a great event producer. You're a great caterer. But I never knew when Joyce was going to think about me. So I sat in my office, stressed every single day, not knowing when I could invest in marketing, not knowing when I could invest in more people or team or technology. And this is where I sat in a glassed-in office in my kitchen. This was our second kitchen. I'd moved into this space as we got a little bit bigger. But I looked around, and if you can see behind me, that's the dish area. And I was listening to a CD by Jim Rohn about being who you're surrounded by. And I was traveling and I was managing events all over the country, but when I came back to my office, I was surrounded by me, and I was surrounded by my staff, who I loved dearly as people, but they weren't driving me. They were driven by a paycheck, and I was driven by fear that I better have their paycheck and be able to pay them every 2 weeks. So I realized that in order to have a bigger dream, I was going to have to let go of something. And I sold my catering company in 2017, cut my business in half. which is a scary thing. If you've ever grown by cutting in half, that's a really scary, scary business plan. But I knew it had to be done. So I continued forward. Unlike the slides here. I'm not going to read all this. You heard way too much about me in the introduction. But now I have 5 businesses from our local tent and event rental company. Oakwood Occasions has grown to Encore Lead Events. Speakers Need to Speak. We help our event clients have $100,000 to $5 million weekends. We have 120 speakers, many of them in this room, who are 4 to 8 figure business owners. Last year I partnered with Tom Matson and Cheryl Plouffe, and we built Icon Maker on Podcast Magazine. So through podcasts, speaking, and events, we want you to get your mission out there, get your message out there, and grow your business. It all changed when I stepped up to the mic. I already shared that with you. And then we can go through these pretty quickly. You'll recognize some faces. This is what life was like from 2017 to 2020. We know what happened then. We can keep going, Lou. I had my own first 3-day event in 2020. Some folks here were in that room as well. We went virtual in 2020 after I had my oh heck moment, which many of you probably had as well. And we took it virtual. And the beauty is these 5 pillars are still working. If you do these 5 things as a speaker consistently, you will continue to grow. Let's keep going. I want to invite you, before I run out of time today, because as many of our speakers, and I've been doing this for decades, I have about 4 hours worth of content to share with you in 15 minutes. So let's go to the next slide. If you want to go ahead and scan that, I put together a bundle for you all. We have our visibility event next month, where in 3 days, we dig in deep to what do you need to be a speaker. And I'm not a speaking coach. I am the next step afterwards. What do you need to be prepared to get out there on stages? How do you connect? How do you get those gigs that are guaranteed impact and guaranteed sales? What are the assets that you need? How do you grow that business to continue to get out there? We bring in incredible guest experts as well. And we have a $100,000 speakers competition. Some of you should be in that competition. Some of you should be judges of that competition. So go ahead, do the QR code. I'll message you all. You'll let me know if you want to attend the event or if you'd like me to consider having you as a judge of the event to help us award that $100,000 in cash, gigs, and prizes. Because I'm really smart. I'm not a judge at my own event. I get to cheer on everybody. I'm also going to invite you to a master class of the 6 steps to 6-figure events. How many of you have done events and you did not make 6 figures? Don't raise your hand. I see it by the forlorn expression on your face. And many of you just grabbed your wallet or your purse. I know who you are. It's very easy to lose money on events if you don't plan it and prepare for it in the right way to be profitable. 95% of my event clients selling high ticket, doing 3-day events, do 100,000 to 5 million. I know a little something about making sure that money both stays in your wallet but grows for your events. So I'm going to invite you to our 6 steps to 6-figure masterclass, and we are revising the 2024 Ultimate Podcast Directory. How many of you would like to get out on more podcasts, to be seen, to be heard? Fantastic. So you're going to get all of that with one little QR code. So definitely take a picture of that. We'll move on to one quick little thing. I don't have a lot of time to share all of these myths and predictions for 2024 with you. So I'm going to be up at Pizza and Profits tonight. In between bites of pizza, we'll talk about what some of these myths are. Why are you trying to get out on stages and not getting the results that you're looking for? Why are you not getting picked for some of those stages that you want to get out on? Perhaps you're not collaborating with the right people. Perhaps you're looking to go down a keynote role, but your business is built on a lead generation stage role. Or maybe you're trying to sell from stage, but you don't have the things to sell from stage effectively. There's 4 different pathways for taking the stage and being profitable. You've got to be in alignment, whether you're getting paid before, during, after, or building authority stages. There's also a myth that there aren't enough speaking opportunities. There are plenty, but some of you are speaking in the wrong place. You're speaking where your audience is not. If we can fast forward, there's one slide that says impact. We can go forward, forward, forward. I'm happy to share any of this with people tonight. Talking about gigs, right there. The other important thing to know about taking the stage is the level of impact that you can have. Now, my personal impact is Project Repurse. I started this nonprofit in 2015. Twice a year, Mother's Day and Christmas, we pack gently loved purses with toiletries and a handwritten note. And we take them to women who are in transitional housing, who've hit bottom, and are looking for that encouragement to stay on that path. The reason this is my impact, because that was me 22 years ago. 22 years ago, there was a house for me to go to when I hit my bottom. And if I had not been encouraged to stay, there's nothing about my life today that I believe would exist. In fact, I probably would not exist. So twice a year, Mother's Day and Christmas, we encourage the women to stay, because those are the two hardest holidays to have hope when you've hit hopelessness. What is your impact, though? That's what's important to me. But what's the impact for you to have? Some of you are trying to have impact before you have income. That might be a writer downer. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Some of you have made your passion and your mission your business. And I encourage you to make your business profitable. Then you can have as much impact as your heart desires. I look forward to seeing you all this evening. We can put that QR code up one more time for anyone who didn't get it. I appreciate the time with you all today. I want to see you on the stages of the world, having that impact, having that influence, and getting that income, because there's somebody who was staring at the ceiling at 3 o'clock this morning, praying for the solution that you have. Be prepared to find them. Be ready to meet them where they're at and impact them, and make sure you're making a profit along the way.
And amen to everything that Daniela just said. You see what she's done, how she's scaled up her business in just the last 5 years. Can anyone else do that? Can each and every one of us do that? If not you, who? If not now, when? So I'm vamping a little bit until we swap out computers for the next presenter. Stay with us, everybody. You guys have plenty of energy left for the rest of the presenters, right? Okay. Because what happens next is? Everything! There is a gentleman. Guys, shh. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Captain Luke, on stage. Hello. Fantastic. I'm on stage and about to actually tell the story from the stage right now. So thank you very much, Amelia, our wonderful onboard groups coordinator. Perfect timing. Thank you. Thank you. She didn't expect that. She didn't expect that. So remember I told you the story about the couple that came from Auckland, New Zealand, with just 3 days to spare, and took them like 30 hours and standby flights and all of that. Okay, so now we have someone that missed the boat. Well, they didn't really miss the boat. They drove all the way from Orlando. They have like a $5,000 suite or something like that. They drove all the way from Orlando on day of embarkation. When did we get on this Saturday? To Miami, and they forgot their passport. And they don't have a neighbor or anyone that has their key or could break a window or whatever and find where their passport is. So they would have to drive all the way back to Orlando, which they did in a very depressed state, because they could not get on the ship. So we have been working tirelessly with Miami corporate and the ship staff and the top staff here at Carnival to see if we could keep their cabin open and make an allowance for them to fly into. They can't do it for Bonaire, but they're on their way here to Aruba, the second port, and we're going to go meet them out of the pier and escort them onto the ship and hand over the keys to their room and get this party started for them. So fingers and toes crossed. I won't reveal names just yet, that they make it, and that'll be the next story we'll have for you after Aruba. Tom.
All right, cool.
There we go. And the show continues, ladies and gentlemen. So you are in for a treat. We're going to keep it rolling. Put your hands together. If you're ready for more, we got something good coming for you. This next presentation, I know, is going to give you many aha moments. I urge you to pay close attention. He is the former CEO of Guerrilla Marketing. Who's ever heard of Guerrilla Marketing? Tens of millions of books sold. He's the former CEO of that. I met him years ago, and he's one of the gentlemen I heard earlier, like when someone walks in the room, like, who the heck is that? Like when I met him years ago, I'm like, who the heck is this dude? Just the way he carries himself. When I didn't see him for the first day and a half or so, but I did run into him near the gym because he stayed in amazing fit shape. He's got incredible lifestyle. He's touring the world, doing great things for business and for people around the world. You're going to learn more about him. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my good friend, David Fagan.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do.
I asked him really nicely, I said, will you just pretend like we're good friends? And he said, we'll see how it goes. So I did get that in the end there, so I appreciated that, yeah. So me and Tom go way back, a couple years now. Good so far, big round of applause for the other speakers, right? Pretty good stuff. Information overload?
No.
Turn on the fire hose, try to take a drink?
No.
Sounds easy, right? You know everything you need to do. So why haven't we done it? Why haven't we done it? It's a good question, right? Who here has just one good idea that they're ready to implement more than anything else? Anybody just one? Really? Two? Who here thinks they could do two? Sir? Yeah, two. You're feeling good, two? Who here thinks they have more than 10? Oh, you are my troublemakers. There's a lot of, really? There's no way they're gonna fall for this. These are all so, you guys have 10 things? Who feel here's like they have 20 things? They have 20 things they think you're gonna do next week. Really? You have 20 things you're gonna do next week? Godspeed. Okay, all right. That's amazing. So my name is David Fagan. We run Top Talent Agency. We work with experts, first and foremost experts. We work with what? Experts. Right, so if you have a unique expertise that you want to monetize, that's what we help you do. We do it in 3 very specific ways: publishing, publicity, and production. So publishing could be books, courses, most times it's best-selling books, everything A to Z. Publicity, not just getting on television, not just getting in the media, but maybe booking to speak on stage, not just in the US, could be internationally. Okay, and production could be events, it could even be your own show. So we're gonna get and dive down a little more deeper into this, but I want you to write down 3 words, 3 very important words. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Right? Raise your hand if you got that written down. Okay, I see who my action takers are. Okay, now I want you to write this down. Good advice gone bad. Right, good advice gone bad. So there's a lot of good advice being given everywhere, all the time. And a lot of times good advice is well intentioned, but it's taken out of context. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to find context for all the good advice that we're getting, okay? One of the things that we do with new clients when they come in is we have an audit where over 120 different points are reviewed in what you already have done and what you're still missing. And there's what I call the law of entrepreneur order. And here's what the law of entrepreneur order says. The odds are much more likely that you're going to be that more successful, that much faster, if you do things in the right order. Now, we as entrepreneurs, we like to do things out of order. Who's done a few things out of order? That's okay, you can do that. But if you really want to put all the odds in your favor, we really want to get things in the right order. So it's almost surprising to us. Sometimes people will come to us and they are looking at number 71 on a list and they haven't done number 3 through 23, right? They're looking at number 50 through 65 and they haven't done number 1 through 5, okay? you would be shocked at how much faster things go and how much better things go when you do things in the right order. And that brings me to the good, better, best type of scenario. Here's what you need to know. We're not in search of good things, and here's an example of good advice gone bad. There is the expression, and some of my most favorite mentors say this, but it's taken out of context, and that is, good is good enough. Who here's heard good is good enough? Right? Good is good enough. But when I wrote my first best-selling book in 2009, there was a couple hundred books that were put out that whole month. Now, there's about 4,000 books put out every single day. Do you want to be good, or do you want to be better, or do you want to be the best? There's a lot of things right now, if you just go that little extra step. So you're getting a lot of ideas, you're getting a lot of suggestions, you're seeing a lot of people doing good stuff. And you've got to do this, write this down. The best I can with what I have. The best I can with what I have. Now, some people will start to talk about, hey, it's not your resources, it's your resourcefulness. Who here's heard that expression? Right? So, you might have more than you think, but I want you to know that I'm always very sincerely asking you, what's the best thing you can do with everything you have to work with? What's the best thing you can do? I had a life-changing event probably about a decade ago where I sat in a room. Some of you might have heard this story before, but I was listening to somebody talk about education for my kids. And they had us do this thing where we all closed our eyes. Okay, so everyone close your eyes. And this is like a private school, and they're talking to all these parents. And so all these parents sitting there, we all closed our eyes. And the person speaking, the dean of the school, said, I want you to picture your child. And if you've got a couple children, picture a couple children. But I want you to see their faces. So here we are with our eyes closed. And we're picturing our kids. He says, I want you to think about what they're capable of. I want you to think about what job they might have, what school they might go to, what business they might start. Are they going to invent something? Are they on stage? Are they on TV? Are they building something? Picture your children. Picture what they might grow into. Right? Picture what they might accomplish. Picture the lives they might change. Are they going to work locally, nationally, internationally? Picture your kid. Picture his face. Picture him older. Picture your daughter. Picture him older. Picture him graduating. Picture him. And he said, now stop just for a second. I have a question for all of you parents picturing your children right now. Let me ask you this. Does your child's current education live up to your child's full potential? That was a breakthrough for me, right? And as a speaker, I was like, that's pretty smart, right? Because all of us parents are going, oh my goodness, my children are capable of so much, right? I've got to help them grow in all these different ways. So I want to do something with you right now, and it's similar, but it's different. For those of you who want to have an experience, please close your eyes. And as your eyes are closed, I want you to see yourself. Maybe you have a picture that you took and you kind of know what you look like from the picture. Maybe you're picturing yourself from the mirror, but I want you to see yourself. Now, if you're really good, it's a little bit of mental strength, a little bit of imagination. I want you to picture yourself on a stage. How many people is in that audience? Make it a couple hundred people. Do you see them? Make it a couple thousand people. Do you see them? Put yourself on television. Put yourself sitting on the couch. Who's interviewing you? Who are you interviewing? Where are you traveling to? What are the lives that you're changing? Picture the faces. Is it a few people? Is it very quality people? Is it a massive number of people? How many books have you read? Look over at your bookshelf. In your mind, look at a bookshelf. How many books of those are yours on their bookshelf? The Amazon bestseller? The Wall Street Journal bestseller? What's everything you're capable of? How many people do you have working for you? You got a small team? You got a large corporation? Are you going public? I want you to just envision this for a second. The more you can visualize, don't open your eyes yet, just know that the more you can visualize, the more you can conceptualize and realize. So how much more can you think of? How much bigger can you go? How big is the organization going to be? How many people is it going to reach? How many languages are your books written in? Now go ahead and open your eyes. Now I have a question for you. Think of the people helping you. Think of the people working for you. Ask yourself this question. Does your current mentors, do your current coaches live up to your full potential? One of the things that you could be doing right now on this cruise is building your team. I want you to invite you to take a little bit different of a look at everything it is that you're doing right now and thinking in terms of who's on my team, right? Who's gonna be my publisher? Who's gonna be my publicist? Who's gonna be my marketer, right? Who's gonna book me to speak? Who's gonna be my partners? Who's gonna be my joint venture strategic partners, right? Who's gonna be my referral friends? Who's on the team, right? Who here felt something in the exercise? It's usually not everybody, but it's interesting. This is quite a few, but you guys are kind of an advanced group. You guys think really big. So this is really what we do, is we talk a lot about good, better, and best. I'm gonna show you a visual here. Yeah, we get people in a lot of media. There's several people that do that here. Yeah, we put people on a lot of television. There's several people that do that here. I'm gonna drill down on some very specific things, but I share this from time to time. I shared this last year with a few of you. I'm gonna go through this really quickly, and then I'm gonna give you guys a few ways that we could engage. Knowledge, experience, wisdom. I'm gonna show you more of this later. If you wanna take a picture of that, take a picture of that, because I'm gonna make it disappear. 3, 2, 1. Guys, you always wanna create want. You wanna make them what? Want. Good marketing makes people want. Good marketing makes people what? Want. When you give away too much, exactly. We just got approved to do documentaries for Bloomberg TV. We have access to the NASDAQ studio. We can help you do your own shows. We do the Kenya keynote tour. We've been to Kenya 3 times in the last year. I could go on and on. All the speakers up here have all these amazing things they can do. But I want you to start to think of yourself a little bit differently. If you're in the advice business, right? If you're making money off your expertise, if you're making money off of your advice, then you are the product. And it's very hard to market and sell the product when you're that close to it. So who's gonna be on your team to help market you, promote you, publicize you, publish you? A lot of nice people up here. I love it when Bill, and I'll say the same thing Bill said, I don't care who you use, there's a lot of great people out here. But get somebody who sees your full potential. Get somebody that has the relationships to take you to the next level. Stop being satisfied with good. Go for better, go for best. If you have an executive team, if you have a mentor, if you have a coach, the most important thing you can do is looking at every single opportunity and asking yourself, this is good, but what's better and what's best? 3 minutes, perfect. I'm gonna play a video really quick here, and this is a great way for me to kind of show Isabel off as well. This is just one of the things we do. It's one of the things that we're passionate about. We kind of all have our passion projects. Oh. I guess we didn't plug the sound in. That was my fault. Yeah, there's the cord on there. I just didn't plug it in. That's my fault. Thank you. While they're doing that,
New students adopted, we've taken in, and we've supported well over 100 individuals.
While they're doing that, remember, it's not just what you know. Most people think it's who you know. It's not. It's who knows you, right? And so, not what you know, not who you know, but who knows you. So what are you doing so that people know you for really what you're best at? For really where your expertise is.
To have impactful, meaningful relationships and
I
conversations.
didn't want to get up here.
Not only our long-term
There's so many ways to approach this,
relationships
but I wanted to be
here,
very
but
sincere
for
with
all
you
of the people
because
here. Kenya has truly
this is
become-
really hard to do. And I appreciate the mentors that aren't trying to sugarcoat it. And a lot of you guys are helping other people as well. Coaches, you guys are inspiring people, you're consulting people, you're leading people. And we're speaking fast and we're giving you a lot of good information and quotes and one-liners and whatever. But who here thinks this is easy? Okay, guys, this is hard work, okay? And this doesn't mean that we shouldn't be looking for ways to make it easier, all right? It doesn't mean we shouldn't be looking for ways to make it easier. It just means don't expect for everything to come easy. And this is one of the things that we do that's one of the hardest things all year. Go ahead and play, because I know
My name is
that.
Isabel Donadio, owner of Top Talent Agency, and I am here on my third trip of the Kenya Keynote Tour. We've just concluded our third trip here with a wonderful group of individuals, business owners, entrepreneurs, public speakers, and life changers. We have sponsored new students, adopted, we've taken in, and we have supported well over 100 individual students.
I'm going to talk
at these
over the top
colleges,
of this,
universities, and high
because I know that
schools
we're
to
out
help
of
them with
time, and I
their
want to honor your guys'
school,
time.
help them with
Tonight,
their
for dinner,
books,
I'll
their
be
uniforms,
reserving a big round table.
everything that they need.
Come, look for us. You can sit with us. We'll also be at Pizza and Profits, but if you want to change the world, if you want to make a difference, if you want to have a TV show, if you want to have your own documentary, if you really want to go high level, you want sponsors, you want advertisers, I'll give you the biggest pro tip that everybody is missing out on. There is one massive change in the industry that's going to happen. It's going to affect podcasts, it's going to affect television shows, it's going to affect streaming, it's going to absolutely 100% change everything. And you're going to start to see more and more people shift to it. We have a lot of relationships with newspapers, news programs, and there's a certain way and direction that everything is going in. There is something that people are willing to pay for when it comes to shows, when it comes to events. And I'm going to share with you what that is, and I'm going to literally give you proof of concept. I'll give you a real case study. So we'll stick around here afterwards. We'll see you. Will my top talent team stand up and we'll so you can come and see Jessica, you can see Richard, you can see Angela, you can see Isabel, you can see me. Thank you so much. You guys have been amazing.
So let's hear it for David Vengan and Isabel, Top Talent Agency. Okay, everybody, back in your seats as we swap out the next computer, the next thumb drive, all that technical stuff for the next speaker. Are you guys enjoying today's Group Leader Showcase? So I'm going to vamp for just a couple of minutes. We're trying to get this guy out to Aruba. It's really interesting. Hope he makes it. If somebody made it here from New Zealand, he can get to Aruba from Orlando, from Miami, right? I guess from Orlando, he doesn't have to come to Miami. He can just fly to Aruba, right? But anyway, so for those of you who don't know my story, sometimes I'll do a little 15 minutes of fame keynote. Who's ever heard my story, Too Stupid to Fail? You have, so a lot of you, look, I'm living proof of what everybody else has come up here and talked about, that if you really have the confidence that you could do things beyond your comfort zone, then the confidence will come and the audience will come when they know your heart and they know, like, and trust you, and you already know that. So, and then you don't really have to work that hard for sales or expansion, the scalability of your brand. It just happens. It just happens. So, tell you a little bit about myself while they're setting up. I was born of the Hebrew persuasion, but since joining the world of internet marketers and entrepreneurs, I have recently converted to narcissism. That's it, that's my only joke. So are we ready?
I'm right here.
We're missing Virginia.
I'm right here.
She's right there.
Right here.
Enter stage left. So let's have.
I'll do an intro. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll do a proper intro.
So, all right, there we go. We found the speaker. That's important. Who agrees? Where is the speaker? We found her. All right, awesome. So last year, I believe, was the first time I had ever seen her present on stage, and I also didn't know how to pronounce her last name. But if anyone has an interesting last name, she gave a great demonstration. She said, Moose Skis, correct? Moose Skis. Now I remember her last name because of that. So if you have an interesting last name, think of ways to help people understand how to pronounce that. But Virginia Moose Skis is the founder of Master Connectors and the creator of Referrals on Demand, a program which teaches six-figure solo entrepreneurs how to turn their network into a referral-generating machine. She's passionate about increasing prosperity across the globe and uses her business to further the efforts of 10 by 3, an international nonprofit creating economies of scale in third world countries by turning artisans into entrepreneurs. She's got some amazing insights to share for us by her methods. Ladies and gentlemen, put a big round of applause for Virginia Moose Skis!
Watson, because I had absolutely no idea how I was going to start this. And he said, wow, it's really hard to sum up your life's work in just like 15 minutes. And I said, well, I can do it in 6 words. So shall I sum up to you my life's work in just 6 words?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. First 2 words, love God.
Okay.
Second 2 words, love people. Third 2 words, end poverty. And whether that poverty is a poverty of real poverty, like living on less than $1.90 a day in a third world country, or whether that is poverty in your mind or poverty in your spirit, I am really hopeful that I can inspire you to all take meaningful action in your lives to make sure that you get the prosperity that you deserve. And I don't need the slides, really. Stop, just stop. Here. Okay. So I knew this was going to happen, and I'm actually better at this way. So listen, I've got a method, it's called Referrals on Demand, and it is for service-based entrepreneurs. I'm quite sure it could work if you sell something brick and mortar, sell an actual tangible product like microgreens or that sort of a thing. Not so much a brick and mortar, but if you're working in a service-based or an online industry, this actually will work for you. So I'm going to just give you a big broad stroke overview. Because I only have now 13 minutes and 22 seconds. So what I want you to know about is there are a number of challenges that you face as an entrepreneur. So ask yourself this: are you out networking but not really getting a result? Is that happening to anybody? Connecting with lots of people, you're in lots of virtual rooms, 3 minutes, get a bunch of names, and you try to make that work, but nothing ever seems to happen. If that's happening to you, I have a solution. If you are someone that's over-giving, right? Because you've heard all of this networking and joint venturing and everything is a game of I'll go first. So how many of you go first and second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and 10th and 47th and you're still waiting for someone to just make you an offer, right? How many of you have ever done a joint venture and everyone promised to mail for you and 2 people did, but 48 didn't? This happens fairly regularly, and it happens because of how we're networking. So I'm going to give you 5 steps, and I'm going to talk really fast. You can write really fast, but wait, if you email me, write this down slowly, Virginia@masterconnectors.com, or you can look me up on page 219 in the book, and that's where my email is. I will send you the PowerPoint that you are not currently looking at.
What's the page again?
219. Okay, 5 steps. First, clarify. In order for your referral partners to be able to adequately pitch you to someone else, they need to know who you serve. So number 1, 5 P's in this one. First P, people. Who is your market-rich audience? Who are the people that are most likely to have the money, have the problem you solve, want to talk about it, have the money to pay for it, and you want to serve them. So who is your rich target market? Who are your people? Second, what is your promise? Every single one of us is sitting in a big pool of ick. Does everybody have something icky going on right now? You have an ick, something you want to fix. It's the ick. Your job is to paint people a picture of, here, I understand your ick, and let me show you the wow. Okay? So what is their ick? What is your wow? What is your promise? And then can you outline a process? I am outlining a process for you. It is 5 C's. The first C is clarify. So what is your process or your pathway? What are the milestones that people can complete? I need to know that as a referral partner so that I can walk Krista through so she can say, oh yes, I like that pathway. I would like to do that pathway. So what is that process? Second, what is your product? How are you packaging this? Are you one-on-one? Is it an online course? Is it a membership site? Is it a mastermind? Is it a cruise? How are you going to deliver the transformation to them? And then what are your price points? So those are your 5 P's in the clarify phase. The next phase of this is to curate your network. And I think this is probably the number 1 thing you could all do on this cruise, because you have a book. And inside that book, there are lots and lots and lots of names. Yes? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. And you think, oh, look, I have a book and it has 453 names in it. I'm going to meet all those cool people. Okay, go ahead. But some people don't share your audience. Some people don't share your values. Some people aren't ready for you yet. Some people may be too advanced for you yet. You need to be judicious and you want to curate your network. So that's step 2. Step 1, what was step 1? Say clarify. Clarify. Step 2 is curate. That means figuring out, are the folks in your network the right people for you? Now, I love alliteration, and you've noticed I've already given you 5 P's inside my 5 C's, and now I'm going to give you 5 A's. Are you ready? Say yes. Yes. When I just met you, I'm just meeting you for the first time. I now have your contact information. You have my contact information. We know each other. That's called an acquaintance, and guess what? They do absolutely nothing for you. They do nothing. They just go, hey, hi. Okay? How many of you have done that on the ship? Oh, I recognize you from last year. Hey, hi. Okay? That's an acquaintance. Once I sit down with them at Pizza and Profits, I have some sort of a conversation. I have a cup of coffee. I have a beer, whatever that is, and I get to know them as a person. Well, now they're an associate. They're an associate in my world. Third level of curation is advocates. These are your joint venture partners. These are the people that are out promoting you. They are willing to share your stuff on their social media. They'll email for you. They'll put you on their podcast. They'll do a LinkedIn Live with you. They'll do a webinar swap with you. All of that sort of JV stuff. Those are your promotional partners. Those are your advocates. They speak favorably of you out in the marketplace. But there are 2 levels of curation that top that. The next one is called ambassador, and these are those connectors that connect you to the connectors who connect you to the connectors. They are your golden geese. They are the ones that are continually connecting you to new people who can create value in your network. And I was talking with Alina. She actually won a launch, and my present in the launch was, I'll find you a bunch of JV partners. So I am now on a mission to find Alina JV partners. So if you'd like to be a JV partner with Alina, you're not allowed to go talk to her. Oh no, you need to come talk to me and I'll tell you if you're kind of in the ballpark, and then I'll send them her way, because Alina's a busy lady, okay? So, but I told her I would go and find that, and so I'm curating that list of potential joint venture partners for her as an ambassador. And then finally you have your affiliates. Now I've got some amazing affiliates, well, allies. I'll call them allies because the JV affiliate thing gets confusing. So I've got Leslie and Bob Kluge in the back who regularly refer me, and I make a lot of money, and Jenny Bellinger sends me amazing people. Where's Jenny B over there? And Kimberly Whitecamp sends me people too. Let's see, where did I last? Dallas Amston, who is not here. Most of my best clients come to me by referral, and those are what my allies do. They promote me, they connect me, they refer me. Those are my allies. Got it?
Got it.
Acquaintance, associate, advocate, ambassador, ally. We good?
Yes.
Great. Let's go to the 3rd C, because this is very, very important. This is about filling in the gaps. What happens when you curate your network? And oh, quick note, people are always what they do and rarely what they say.
Yep.
People are always what they do and rarely what they say. So if you want to know if someone's an advocate, ask yourself the question, have they promoted me? If you want to say that they're an ambassador, have they connected you? It's not, oh man, I really think Connor could. No, Connor and I, honestly, I think we're sort of acquaintance associate maybe thing, right? We're not anywhere really moving up this ladder yet, and it may or may not be appropriate. We can like each other, we can have dinner together. I don't know if my audience is his audience. We don't know that yet. Okay, so base it on what you actually know, and then begin to connect with those people and see, can I dial up that relationship a little bit? Can I dial it up? And also connecting is about filling in the gaps. Who do I need to know that I don't have in my network? Do I need more advocates? Do I need more promotional partners? Oh.
Yes, yeah.
Give it up. Great, well now you just wasted 12 of my seconds with all that applause. Let me finish first, oh my God. Okay, connect. Damn it. You gotta connect with new people. First, like last year never mind, let's get on with this. All right, so you wanna connect with new people. 3 things you need to do. Work your own network, ask for those referrals. Ask for those referrals. Who do you know that might do business with me? Network your network. Who do you know that might know someone who could do business with me? And finally, network. Couple tips about networking. Network in a big pond full of the people that you actually want to meet. If you want to go network for clients, well, go find where they all hang out and go to that place and be some sort of an affiliate or an associate, kind of like being an associated member to the Council of Realtors or something along those lines. I have 4. Yeah. Okay. He started it right when I started. Yep. Okay. Cultivate your relationships. If you don't have tools, speaker sheets, networking sheets, if you haven't written out for them, who are your people? What is your process? What are your pricing? What's your packaging? If you haven't written all that out and put it on a sheet of paper, your referral partners have no clue. So create a tool and then train them up. And then most importantly, track your results, because most likely you are spending a lot of time with people that you like. They're fun. They make you feel good about yourself. They're enjoyable to be with, but they're not producing a dollar. And so you want to be spending your actual business time cultivating business relationships that create dollars for your business. You can have all the social time that you want. I hold a party once a month. I do a networking event once a month, and we all get together and have fun, party twice a year, whatever it is. Have your friends, but don't believe that that networking with your friends is going to make you money. What you want to do is network with partners who become your friends and make you money. Finally, you want to collaborate. There are 3 basic kinds of collaborations you can do with people. Joint venture collaborations, we all know what those are. Okay? Referral collaborations are what I love. They send me clients. My most recent joint venture collaboration sent me a $10,000 client. Hi, I want to give you $10,000 and you can train me. Is that good? I was like, yes. Swipe your card. Note to self: when someone hands you their card, shut up. Sales pro tip: if I whip out my card, stop talking. Just type in the numbers, okay? Please. And then strategic alliances. This is something Kimberly Whitecamp is brilliant at. How can I embed what I do in other people's programs? How can you embed what you do in my programs? How can we collaborate together to create value together for our customers and our clients? Now, if you've had enough of overgiving and under-receiving, you're done networking without results, you're tired of riding the revenue roller coaster, then stop going alone and build a nexus. A nexus is the 250 people that work for your business, that you are training and tracking for your business. I have 3 invitations for you, aside from meet me upstairs during Pizza and Profits if you want me to tell you more about this and go through the stages and what does it take to make an acquaintance turn into an associate and all that fun stuff. But number 1, if you'd like to build your own nexus, all you need to do is either grab this or go to masterconnectors.com/get connected. I believe this is on page 219 in the directory. And I will give you access to my Get Connected Live e-learning course, which is the videos of a live event and all of the training. And I will give you up to 5 personal laser coaching sessions with me on Marco Polo. So you have to download the Marco Polo app. That's the only way I do laser coaching. Okay? Got it? Number 2, put your hand up in the air if you're making at least $5,000 a month in your business, so around $60,000 a year, and you would like to be on a podcast. Awesome. Please apply. Thank you. Where is Steve Erickson? Okay, Steve Erickson last night remoted into his computer in Norway to finish building this funnel for all y'all, so give him a round of applause. At 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so if you'd like to be featured on season 5, go ahead and apply. And I can't take everybody, but I will take as many people as I can. I'm one girl and it's one season, okay? And then finally, do we serve a similar audience? Are you working with emerging and early stage 6-figure solo entrepreneurs who are looking to quit hitting their head on the glass ceiling of I want to grow, but I need more money, but it's all in my head, right? And they need a team, but they can't afford it. If you're serving those people, then go ahead and let's partner. This will take you to a Google form, or you can email me and I'll send you the Google form and we can talk about a webinar swap or a 6-figure, you can be in a giveaway or a summit or a podcast, or I'll do a live stream. You'll tell me about you and I will send you a collaboration contract. So I'll tell you what I can do for you and what you can do for me, and if you like it, we're in business, and if not, I love you very much, and I'll see you on the next Marketers Cruise.
From Virginia Blue Skis! Talk about improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's a big fear. As a speaker, you don't want that to happen, but she handled it like a pro. Holy cow.
So I have to tell you the truth. I actually hope that the slides get all screwed up because I'd really rather do it without the slides because I'm never on the right slide. So this worked just fine.
Expert tip right there. That was fantastic. Another round of applause for Virginia, please. Yes. And I'm going to pass this over. Okay. Lou's going to take over for a little bit. No?
We needed a few seconds. Yeah, I remember I was keynoting at a Cruise World event in front of like 1,100 travel agents. Then I had my own coaching program where I had, up until the pandemic, something called $1 Million Group System, where I teach travel professionals how to do what I do all over the world, putting groups together, niches and so forth. And we had right before the offer, in front of all of these people, we had the blue screen of death. Has anyone ever had the blue screen of death right before your close, right? And of course, I always have 300, like Daniela had 363 slides for her 15 minutes presentation. I'm sure that was for a longer presentation, but how many of us just too many slides and then we go into the close too late? How many have ever done that? A few of you? So basically, there's the blue screen of death, and I said, listen, there's a whole bunch of good stuff. Never call your things stuff. They're things of value. And if you like what I've told you so far, we're doing a training program. It's $5,000. We're handing out articles. This is at a cruise event, at a travel event, and with having no bullet points, no offer, no bonus stack, nothing, we converted like 40% of the room on a blue screen of death. And you know how that would not have happened? Is if I didn't have the confidence to just push forward at the pivotal point when I needed the slides to work most. So, Tarl, take action, revise later. Ready, fire, aim. And I learned that, and I use it, and now Tom.
All right, here we go. We're keeping it going, baby. We're keeping this going. More knowledge. Can y'all handle it? You ready for another one? Let me hear it. Put your hands together. This one's going to be awesome. We're going to get some more takeaways. Michael Neely is a former professional actor and medieval knight turned speaker. That's pretty exciting. I like that. Mentor to visionary solopreneurs and the international best-selling author of Zero to Launch Podcast Accelerator. He's the host of 6 popular podcasts, including the critically acclaimed Consciously Speaking, Buy This, Not That, Something to Whine About, The Podcast Guy, and Mornings with Michael and Krista. A member of the Screen Actors Guild, Michael has appeared in feature films with Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, and others, and performed off-Broadway with Andre Braugher and Kathleen Chalfant, and had several recurring roles in several popular soap operas. As the founder of the Authority Academy and the Infinite List, Michael now trains and supports heart-centered entrepreneurs in professional speaking, virtual summits, getting published, and designing and hosting their own podcasts to massively grow their business and expand their audience. Give a warm round of applause for our next presenter, Michael Neely, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for that. Couldn't have written it better myself.
And you did.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
And how about the part about people mistaking you for Mel Gibson?
That, in a younger day, a long time ago. Is everybody having a good time? We got a lot of first-time cruisers, right? Yes. So I just want to give you all a little heads up. I noticed there were a lot of you raise your hand at that point, and I got to say, they're very strict in the swimming pools. Do not get caught peeing in the pool. Seriously. I was peeing in the pool the other day. The lifeguard yelled at me so loudly, I almost fell in. So seriously, just be careful out there. All right. Today I want to talk to you about creating a dynamic, I missed the word audience there, but it's an audience growth spiral using giveaways. And obviously, I'm guessing, at least, many of you probably don't know what a giveaway is. I know some people immediately think, my giveaway is my lead magnet, my gift. That's not a giveaway. A giveaway is something else, and I should probably define that for you. But first, I want you to trust me a little bit. So I'm going to give you a little background on myself. As you heard, I used to be a professional actor. Back in my jousting day, one of my claims to fame there was Elizabeth Gilbert interviewed me for Spin magazine before she wrote Eat, Pray, Love. But I used to do this for a living, and it was my first profession. And then in 2002, my son was born. And that was in Los Angeles, and I decided not to raise him in the smog of LA. And so I took off for the cleaner air and the beautiful shoreline of Santa Cruz, California, and then I fell into podcasting. And as I mentioned, I have 6 podcasts now, and I'm also an international bestseller for the Zero Launch Podcast Accelerator. I've been in this space since 2014, and actually, when I first ventured into it, it was a little bit of a mess, a little rocky. You know, you go into something new. This is my first launch of Consciously Speaking. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. How many of you ever jump into something and you're just like what were they just saying that Lou said? You know, ready, fire, aim. It was kind of like that. And it was a couple weeks later, I listened in on a webinar and learned what a podcast could be. And so I shut down my show and I relaunched it. And that was in 2015. And right now we're ready to do a whole revision of this in 2024. But the value of this show is that it's been over 2 million downloads for this podcast. This is my firstborn, and it's been listened to in over 190 countries. So I just set this up to give you a little bit of background of me in the space, and I've been in it a while, and you can trust me a little because how did I get to 2 million downloads? Well, one of the best ways to get there that I found, and I hate these poles, so I'm going to walk around so that I can see everybody here, was that I used giveaways. Now, what a giveaway is, by definition, is a collection of free gifts, usually your lead magnets, your freebies, presented by a variety of contributing guest experts and curated by a single host. Okay, so now to understand a giveaway, we've got to kind of go a little bit into lead magnet. How many of you have a lead magnet currently? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so your lead magnet, that's your freebie. It's your free gift, your thing that you put out there, often known as an ethical bribe. It's kind of like you go to a bar and you buy someone a drink and you're hoping to get their phone number. Except in this case, your ethical bribe is you're trying to get their email. All right? So where do you have your lead magnet placed? Now I'm imagining most of you have it available on your website. Okay? How many of you have a podcast or a YouTube channel and you have your lead magnet on there? You present it regularly. Awesome. Okay. The challenge with a lead magnet, especially when it's on your website or your podcast, is you find it starts to get a little stale. You're getting the same traffic over and over again. And in order to change that, we want to now look to giveaways. Now, these are collections of lead magnets. And these giveaways, as you can see here, by the way, I didn't list all of them. I apologize for any of our Infinite List members who are in the room whose giveaway did not show up here. But every one of these giveaways that are positioned here are for our members, and which all of these happen to be members who are on the ship with us today. All right, so that is what a giveaway is. Now, how do you turn this into an audience growth spiral? Well, think about it. You run a giveaway. You got a podcast, you got some other audience, maybe you got a TV show, you know, you're working with David or any of the other folks who help support you with that here. Well, now people have gone to the giveaway, they've opted into your lead magnet. You want to promote your show. You want to promote your podcast. I promote all 6 of my podcasts on my thank you page. When someone signs up for my free gift, all of my shows there. It's super important that you start to do this because now you're getting all of these new eyeballs looking at your show. Because here's the deal. I don't care if you got a podcast. I don't care if you have a TV show. I don't care if you have a website. It doesn't do shit for you if nobody knows it's there, does it? You got to get eyeballs on it. And giveaways are a great way to get eyeballs on it. And that's what it's all about. Okay, so using your lead magnet to get it out in front of people. Now, back to this, as I mentioned, all of these people, all of these giveaways represented here are for members who are here on the boat. And I'd love to have everybody, any of our Infinite List members, can you stand up right now real quickly and just say, hey? Infinite List members. All right, we got a bunch of you all around the room. Awesome. Many of them have giveaways, and just as you heard Virginia say, her 6-figure success giveaway, it's one of the offers that she put on her slide there. If you want to be in her giveaway, you're going to want to talk to her about that. All right, now, the other way that you can do it is in the giveaway panels, okay? When a giveaway is run, it has multiple free gifts and offers. And as the host, you could do multiple panels. So here is one from my live event from last year, one from one of my podcasts. So again, when people opt in, not only are they getting it on your thank you page, but now you're drawing their attention to your show in every area that you can. How many of you live in a big city, or heck, probably even small cities now, where you have the buses, the taxis? There's barely any wasted space anymore. They have ads on the sides of them, don't they? They have ads on the top of them. They have ads on the benches at the bus stops. You have very valuable real estate that you're letting go to waste if you're not using it for this stuff. Okay? Now, you can do your own giveaway. Now, one of the things that I wanted to be sure to give value today here is to let you know that what I'm sharing with you is not something that you need me or my team for. You can do it yourself. I actually used to teach this. So what happened was, in my podcasting space, my students started saying, Michael, how are you growing your audience so big? What are some of the big hacks that you're using to get a massive audience like that? Giveaways was a huge one. So I started teaching it. I even started doing these 3-day trainings on it. And during the 3-day training, I would teach them, here's what you need to do. You need to build a registration page. You need to build your opt-in page. You need to build the access page. After someone opts in, how do they get the free gifts? You need to wrangle all the contributors. You got to collect their gifts, their imagery, their description, their link. You got to make sure all of that works. You got to write all the swipe copy so that all of your contributors can email to their lists. You have to handle all of the tech issues. What happens when something doesn't work? Customer service stuff. You have to set up the automation, make sure that the emails are going out regularly to everybody that opts in, that they're getting the thank you pages. You have to pretty much do everything it takes. So, I'm teaching this. And I'm at one of my 3-day trainings, and one of the students stands up and she says, Michael, this is crazy. This is so much work. Can't I just hire you to do this for me? And it was at that moment that a light bulb went off for me, and I thought, good idea. Why don't I create a done-for-you service around giveaways? This was probably, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, and then it evolved from there into creating a community around it. Much like Virginia was saying, you want to create a network of people that you can play with. As a matter of fact, many people today have been talking about having a great network of people to play with. And that is what we do with the Infinite List. And so, if you heard me do my intro yesterday, one of the things that's so important, one of my mentors, Jeff Walker, has always said, there's only 2 rules. They're very simple in online business. Number 1, sell stuff the market really wants. And rule number 2, always be building your list. Always be building your list. I want to get a gauge of the audience real quickly. How many of you have a list of under 1,000? Okay, under 1,000, less than 1,000, less than 2,000. Okay, under 5,000. Okay, over 5,000. There we go, over 10,000. Over 20,000. Okay, the thing is with the list, this is what's amazing. I'm going to just give you a few little keys here, especially for those of you who are sitting at the 5,000 and under range. I never really noticed the full power of my list, the full understanding of this, until my list hit 10,000. And when I did, my business changed. My affiliate revenues started to skyrocket. My regular revenues started to skyrocket. It will be a massive game changer for you. So, here's the challenge. Unless you continuously generate new traffic, your opt-ins will fade to nothing. Your subscriber base will also drop. Because here's the thing. How many of you do launches? Do a big launch. Okay. You'll notice with a big launch, you'll get a big influx. Or you even do a summit. You'll get a whole bunch of new leads. And let's say you get 10,000. And then you start mailing those leads. And then all of a sudden, it drops down to 9,000. And then your list drops down to 8,000. And then to 7. It continues to drop off. But if you don't continue to feed that, eventually, you're going to have to go back and start the cycle all over again. It's a vicious cycle, and it's a losing cycle, because also, as your list also decreases in size, the interest and your open rates and everything else is going to drop, because they're people who've been with you for a while. They've seen your stuff. They may still be hanging out, but they're not really ready to buy from you. So you want to continue to grow your list. You want to set it on autopilot. So one of the things you're going to want to do that, and that's the law of diminishing returns, is the giveaways, because it creates this infinite loop where you're always bringing in new leads on a regular basis. And what brings the value for that, and this is a challenge that I know a lot of people will say, well, if I'm in so many giveaways, aren't people going to be opting out of my list because I'm mailing to promote all of these giveaways? And the truth of the matter is, yes, you will get some people who will be opting out, but the number of people opting in will be greater than that, so it's a net positive return. So now, instead of you having a list that is slowly diminishing, you have a list that is continually growing. And this makes you a very attractive affiliate partner. How am I doing on time here? 3 minutes left. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so some of the things you're going to want to ask if you get approached to be in a giveaway. You want to know, what are the commitment dates? Okay? When do you have to mail for it? How many contributors are they planning on having? By the way, a red flag, if you get invited to be in a giveaway and they say, we're going to have 100 contributors, it's going to be amazing. No, it's not. Run the opposite direction. It's too many contributors, diminishing returns, your gift will get lost in the shuffle, you won't have good results. Who else is participating, and what is the criteria to join? If they don't have a list criteria to join, they say, oh, anybody can join. Well, guess what? I'm not going to join because I've got a list of 20,000 plus, and if they allow 10 people in there who have zero list, I'm the one supporting the giveaway. I'm not going to get anything in return. So make sure of what the criteria is. And then finally, is it a good value? That's a question that you ask for yourself. How much am I paying to be in the giveaway, and what's my cost per lead? Because you should always aim to get your leads at less than $2 per lead, preferably far less than that. Okay, we're running short on time, so I'm going to fly fast. A giveaway that 98% correct can still be a disaster. It can still be wrong, and you will not get your return on investment. So, if you want to learn more about this, I'm putting together, well, I've already put together, but you can get it for free, my list building boot camp. It's 15 modules, covers all of the stuff that I've talked about in way deeper depth. And you can get that for free. If you do not have access to a QR code, simply go to michaelneely.com/MC for Marketers Cruise 23, MC23, and you can get it there. Normally, I sell this for $997. I'm giving it to you for free as part of the Marketers Cruise. Now, I know for some of you, thank you. For some of you, this may be, I'm already in this, I know, I get it, okay? If this is advanced level for you, then do this. I'm going to give you access to be in one of our giveaways absolutely free. Normally our giveaways are $250. You're going to get it absolutely free. Drop us an email, member@infinite-list.com. The reason we don't have a QR for you to go to somewhere specific is because we don't know what giveaway you want to be in. Each one's different, and we've got dozens of them coming up in the next 6 months alone. So you're probably going to want to get in quickly with us. Drop us a line. Catch us at Pizza and Profits tonight at 10 p.m. You can meet other members, learn about what giveaways are open to you right now if you want to look at being in one of ours. Get your questions answered, and if any of this was confusing to you, that's what we'll be there for to help explain it. After 13 years in business, 46,000 students, and 43 million in revenue, I can confidently say when your email list grows, your business grows with it. That's from Amy Porterfield. How many of you know Amy Porterfield? Absolutely. It is so true. Jeff Walker calls his list his personal ATM. Okay? And finally, joint venture, your wait time. Okay. We paid out over $40,000 in 2023. We're paying out $100,000 in 2024. We pay 30% lifetime commissions. If you want to be an affiliate, come talk to me as well. And there's the last minute details. Thank you all very much for listening. I appreciate it.
Let's hear it one more time from Mr. Michael Neely. So Michael's talking, we just have a few more to get through, but it'll be worth the wait. So Michael's talking about affiliate commissions. There have been, how many have been part of programs that pay 30, 40, and 50% affiliate commissions? Or you have a program that pays 30, 40, or 50% commissions? Anyone? Okay. So the Marketers Cruise is the internet's worst affiliate program. Mike hates when I say this, because if you think about it, the house is really not Captain Lou, it's the cruise line, and so they're making just about all of the money, and they don't understand affiliate programs, they don't understand PayPal, they don't even have, you can't even pay by PayPal, right? But what we did when we put these group leader showcases together is say that if you hit 10 cabins, then you get the 30 minutes of stage time and and a $2,000 reward 30 days after sailing. But if you think about how much people are spending for their actual cruise before airfare and excursions and hotel and expenses on board and in the islands, it's a large investment, which is fabulous because that investment is just a drop in the bucket compared to what I believe the value that you're getting here this week. Am I right? How much would you pay for a $10, $15, $25,000 mastermind with the level of people we have here this week? So we are the world's worst affiliate program when you join us, just because it's the cool thing to do, and you promote us and you get 5 cabins. We don't pay you anything, but we do give you 15 minutes of fame. Even on the 10 cabins, that's what, 30 to 50 grand in sales for Carnival, and you get $2,000 back, which doesn't even cover the cost of your program. So we did the math on it and figured out that it's really an affiliate program that pays approximately 4%. It's the world's crappiest affiliate program. But all of you want to be a part of it, right? Awesome. I just want to tell you that backstory. It is what it is. Okay, are we ready? So, Tom, let's get an intro, the proper intro.
All right, we will introduce this amazing next Marketers Cruise speaker here. But first, are you ready to learn some more, ladies and gentlemen? Let me hear it. Put your hands together. Yes. Well, you're in for a treat because Susie Pruden is the founder of Itty Bitty Publishing. She's going to teach you how to write your book in a day, how to get out of your own way. Whether you've been working on your book for the past 5 to 10 years or just decided today to write a book, you can get started on your path through publishing to become an influencer in the industry, and she's going to show you exactly how. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Susie Pruden!
I'm multitasking here. I've never done this before. Everybody stand up. Everybody sit down. Everybody stand up again. Yeah, you gotta move. Now, take your hands and raise them above your head. And stretch. And make some sound. Now lean all the way over to the right. And now lean all over to the... And then stretch way up higher and go, yes! 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 And sit down.
Sound like my room next door.
So, in 1989,
Susie, first of all, I want to trade microphones, and I want you to hold at all times this microphone very close to your mouth, as if you've done this 5 million times.
and I have. So, in 1989, I was a featured guest on the Oprah show. 8 months later, I was homeless. But it didn't start there. It actually started when my mother told me I couldn't date the boy I was dating, so I married him. And then we moved to New York and I had to support him. And I knew how to do exercise, so I created an exercise school. And I grew my company from teaching 6 2-year-olds in my living room on the Upper West Side, exercise, to having 2 exercise schools in Manhattan, a summer camp in East Hampton, NBC TV show, fitness reporter for the Today Show, and 18 national tours, and I'm trying to think, 11 books. One of them was the New York Times bestseller. This is the book that got me on the Oprah show. Meta Fitness was published by Hay House. And I was in my living room with Louise Hay. We were exercising, she's a friend of mine, and she went, ow! I said, what's wrong? She said, I hurt my hip. And I said, well, Louise, you're the expert. What does it mean? And she figured it out. She told me, I can't remember. And I had an idea, and so I said, Louise, what if we did a video together? I'll do the exercises, and you do the affirmations. And she thought about it and said, that's a good idea, let's do it. So we did it, and that's the result along with the video. My career has been truly extraordinary. I sold my first book at a cocktail party in East Hampton, Long Island in 1971. William Morrow, Joni Evans. When she said yes, she wanted to buy my book, I called the William Morris agency and said, this is Susie Pruden, I need an agent. I did everything backwards, and it all worked. And it just kept growing. This is very important, what I'm going to tell you right now, because this is how you either make or break a book. When my first book came out, and I've got a picture of it here somewhere. I'll show you in a minute, because I don't know how to do this at the same time. When my first book came out in 1972, William Morrow had a 15-city tour planned for me. But my husband didn't fly. And so I didn't go. Oops. Guess what happened with the book? Nothing. Same thing happened with Grosset and Dunlap. Same thing happened with Doubleday. Same thing happened with Harcourt Brace. And when Work published Spot Reducing, I told my husband, I'm going. You can come with me or not, I'm going. And we went. And when I was in Detroit, at the Bonaventure Hotel, I got a call from my editor saying you made the New York Times list. Because I did what it took. And so I'm gonna... Oh yeah, hold this. Thank you. Okay, so... All right. Am I doing this right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I thought I was fat.
Stay right there.
I thought I was fat. How many women in here thought that you were fat when you were a kid, and when you look at pictures now, you go, "Oh my God, I'm gorgeous."
How many guys are with a picture right now saying, oh my God?
And so this book I'm bringing back. I Can Exercise Anywhere. That's my first book. This gentleman right here is my 65-year-old, 66-year-old son. I'm 80, by the way. This is what 80 looks like. Oops. That's my bestseller. And this is my favorite book. And you know, joint ventures are really great. I'm doing a process with Nanette Menendez, and I can never pronounce her name, Nanette. And she has happy tummy. And there's a chapter in here on baby massage. And so we're using my chapter on baby massage with one of her products. This book was published in 1983. They don't go away if you do something with them. This is another thing. I met the baby, this baby, the day we did the photo shoot. That baby was butter by the time I got through massaging it. It was so cute. That's the last book, and this is a funny story. So I did the Oprah show, and then one day in my living room, I got a phone call, and I answered the phone. I said, hello, and he goes, hi, this is Oprah. Hi. Can you help me with, I can't remember what it was, because of what we did in the Meta Fitness book, and I said yes. So I worked with her for a while. And then at her anniversary show in November, I didn't help her lose weight. In her anniversary show in November, the last thing she said was, if you want to make peace with your body, get Susie Pruden's book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Body. I had not written it yet. She was thinking of Meta Fitness. But Meta Fitness is about changing your mind to change your relationship with your body. So I wrote the book. Well, I was homeless, actually. That's another story. I've got so many stories. Okay, there's my, I was told by my coach I had testimonials, so I thought I had a few. So, I think that's my author. Anyway, when you're doing a book, it breaks my heart to see how many people write books. And as David was saying, I don't know how many, 4,000 a day now? And you expect your book to do something. Well, it can't do anything if you don't do anything. So you've got to take the time to really get on television, get on podcasts, get on radio, get on be visible, get into magazines. And I was recently featured in Forbes. And somebody said to me, how did you do that? I said, I paid them $2,000. So, if that's what you have to do it. Be smart about it. Don't wish the book does something. It doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to make it work. My books started taking off when I started touring, 18 national tours. My career skyrocketed. I ended up seriously being the fitness reporter for the Today Show and having my own show, talk show on NBC. It's all there for you, but you can't wait for it to come to you. You have to go out and get it. And you have to, when you write a book, you have to ask the question, who am I writing this for? And what is the low-hanging fruit? I'll give you an example with this author here. This is a fun story too. This was written in 2015, and marijuana was just becoming legal. It was legal in Washington State. So this woman says, I was at CEO Space saying, if you want to write an itty-bitty book, itty-bitty books are small books that make a big difference, then talk to me. So we're talking, and I said, who are you? She said, well, I'm a certified gypsy. I'm a disabled vet, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I'm a marijuana distributor. And I said, okay, what do you want to write about? She said, I don't know. Maybe spiritual something or other? And so I asked her, what's the low-hanging fruit? And she said, I don't know. I said, it's pot. Why don't you write the book, your amazing marijuana book, 15 Ways to Use Cannabis for Healing? She goes, how'd you do that? I said, that's what I do. And then you're going to write the book, 15 Ways to Talk to Your Kids About Cannabis. And then you're going to write the book, 15 Ways to Use Edibles Correctly. How many of you in here have had that experience where it wasn't quite correct? For days. For days. So I thought, a manual for doing it correctly would probably be a good thing. There's so many important things that you can do with a book. I mean, I mentioned this yesterday. Anthony Camacho turned his company from $100,000 to $750,000 a year using this as his marketing aid. Your book is your marketing tool. It gets you on stages. It opens doors. I have a friend who has a podcast. She said, if I get two people who want to be on a podcast and they do the same thing, if one of them has a book, I'll take the one with the book. So a book gets you in the door, and you really have to think, what is the low-hanging? What do you want your book to do? People think, well, I want to teach the masses. I want to do this. What do you want your book to do for you? Seriously. What do you want your book to do for you? Because it will do what you want it to if you use it correctly. This woman, I'm going to do this. How many of you have a tribe? How many of you have a tribe? This is a book that we have 15 members of Women's Prosperity Network in this book. Do you have 15 people in your tribe who would like to be part of a book? You can get them involved in an itty-bitty book, a legacy press book, or your own book. But with this book, all 15 of each other market each other. Marketed each other. Can't pronounce that. Okay. And then lastly, I mentioned that Pam Hoffman is talking to the Boys and Girls Club right now. There are 4 million kids in the Boys and Girls Club. That's a lot of books. So I have a workshop coming up. It's 4 hours. It's normally $9.97. And this sticker's falling apart.
Yep, there you go.
No, at the back is coming off. So if you want to talk to me, you can click this. Get that
QR
code. I always want to call it a barcode, but that's my machine. So that's the QR code to talk to me. That's the QR code for my workshop. I have 2 coming up. It's really write your book, and I will go teach you how to outline your book, write your book, and make it happen. You've all got a book. A book will get you on stages. It doesn't have to, it shouldn't be a missive. You don't want a fat book. You want a skinny book. If it's an itty-bitty book, it's a formula to itty-bitty. If it's a bigger book, you still don't want a big book. People don't. 95% of Americans don't read.
Ooh.
Probably more.
Sad.
And less than 1/2 of 1% do anything with their books. You can do something with your book. Let's do it together. I'm Susie Pruden. My company is Itty Bitty Publishing. And I love you. And thank you, Lou. Thank you for your team. This man, I'm not easy.
No, she's not.
I'm 80 years old. I've been around. I say what I mean. I'm not afraid to ask what I want. And he's incredible. They get back to you within an hour. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
They're incredible. And thank you all for being here, staying. You have a lot to do on this fabulous ship.
We love you, Susie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Itty Bitty Book Publishing, Susie Pruden. Thank you. So now we have something very. Oh, by the way, while our next speaker queues up and Tom helps him, Susie worked so hard to get the 5 cabin referrals, and we're really proud of her and all the other group leaders. You know, if you get 20 cabins, you get an hour.
Jeez.
So that means we owe Bill another half hour. But no, you know, do you really want to hear from Bill Walsh again?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do. But here's the thing. He has a secret collaborator that's been working on him to get to that 21 cabins. And he'll tell you about that person. I'll bring him up here now. And we're going to go over 5 p.m. because he's got a half hour. It's the second half hour for the second 10 cabins. But he's going to share the wealth of the person who collaborated with him to earn that stage time. And together they make a dynamic duo. So first let's bring back the one and only Bill Walsh.
How's everyone doing? I know you guys gotta be full, so stand up. Do me a favor, just stand up. Turn anything. Do you guys have any music at all? Any music at all? Somebody got some music? Do me a favor, if you're all standing up, please everyone turn and face that wall over there. Turn and face that wall over there. Everybody stand up, face the wall over there. Now put your hand on their shoulders, person in front of you. I said their shoulders. And give them a little massage. Come on, turn some music, ready to music on. Let's any music ready. If you don't, it's okay, don't worry about it. Come on, do it. Come on, let's go. If you're still sitting down, get your ass out of your chair because it'll help your blood flow. I don't want you to miss one word this next speaker has to share with you guys. All right, everybody do me a favor. Look up here. Look up here. Now turn to the other window. Come on, turn to your left. Now everyone turn to your left. Now once again, help that person in front of you out. Let's go. Scoot forward. Yeah, you can use your arms. He's good right there. There you go. Good. Does that feel good? Yes or no? You probably needed some of that. I said on their shoulders back in the corner over there. Shoulders. Joshua, their shoulders. All right, give yourselves a big round of applause and grab a seat. So, it's always an honor to speak at these events. It's always an honor to speak anywhere. Could you guys give all the people that just came on stage a big round of applause?
My phone is behind you.
They send emails, they make phone calls, they invite. It's not easy to get people to take a week off their business, but I think it's an important week to check out. So if you have not registered for next year, please get your online forms. Go find that secret link, which I'm not sure how secret it is, but go find the secret link and reserve your cabins. Anyone that came here with us, please make sure reserve your cabins before you leave. I think you put down like $500 and you reserve a cabin. I can tell you that I've met so many great people already, and there's no doubt lots of new deal flow coming out of that. And I want to thank you guys, so give yourselves a round of applause for being here. You deserve it. In addition, don't forget, on Friday, we're going to have in the restaurant next door, Meridian, from 2 to 4, we'll do a bonus session on scaling, how to fill your events, grow events, how to use AI inside your business. It'll be a great session next door. So if anybody wants to come on Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. But I want to take a moment now and introduce my business partner, because even though, you know, Bill Walsh did 21 cabins, it wasn't Bill Walsh, it was a team. Does that make sense? And I've been very, very fortunate to be able to work with my son. It's one of the greatest blessings in life. He's a genius at what he does. He's been in internet marketing now for almost 16 years, and he's 32 now, soon to be 33. But just someone I've met. I just love the kid, and he's just been a great kid. But he knows his stuff. He doesn't just talk about it, he lives it every day. He's coached some of the biggest names you guys all know of in terms of how to really maximize their online digital marketing, how to really understand something, please write this down, called mobile funnels. How to use mobile funnels to win. How do you create automated mobile funnels to win? How do you have websites that convert versus just they're a page on the screen somewhere? And he's also very, very good at running sponsorship programs. So if anybody here is trying to get sponsored for your events, he's very good at that. He's helped us for years fill our events with sponsorship dollars. So I can tell you that today, when you get a chance to learn from him, take lots of copious notes. He didn't want to speak, and I said, no, I want you to speak. Because a lot of times he only stays for 4 days and then flies home. He comes in to hang out and meet some great people, and then he usually gets off somewhere and then just flies home. He's married, he's very happy. He works a lot at home. He's definitely a homebody. But he's someone I've been honored to travel the world with. I have so much respect. I learn so much from him all the time. He always has cutting edge ideas. When we first started this journey, we spent $10,000 each to go to a course down in Texas. And it was a 4-day course in some place out in the middle of nowhere where Jesus left his shoes outside of Dallas. And there was big celebrities there, like names like Jay-Z and some really big celebrities. This guy's house. And by the 3rd day, he said, Dad, I can teach most of the stuff they're teaching because I live it every day. And in that time, this is 16 years ago now, right? So people weren't really adapt to Facebook. There wasn't a lot of the things you see today. But I will tell you what, from that day forward, he used to use my credit card to sign up for courses all the time. He said, Dad, we're going here. Dad, we're going there. It's $5,000, $10,000, almost $25,000. Right? He said, you're going to this class in Phoenix on vision. It's one word. But I just put 25 racks on your credit card. I'm like, well, this better be a good fucking course, right? And it was. The people were so great. But this is the thing, is that when you can have the blessing to be able to work with your kids and learn from them, there's not many better things in life, and I'm very proud of them. So I want you guys to just take some copious notes and give it up. Everybody stand up. Give it up, Mr. Austin Walsh. He's in the house. Love you.
How you guys doing? Holy shit. How are we doing? I can tell it's almost tequila time by the way people are sitting in the room. It's like, I'm almost there, but I'm not there yet, but I'm almost there. Does that make sense? Say yes? Yes. Is it okay if I skip the whole intro and get right into some of the things that we've been doing over the last 2 to 3 years since COVID that has really helped our conversion grow massively? And even if it's a little bit different from some things you've heard today, I just want to talk about these are things that we do every single day to help us grow internally and externally. Good? Say yes? Yes. Cool. What does every single business need to survive, grow, prosper, and then eventually sell the company? No.
Revenues.
No.
Systems.
Systems. No. No. No.
Consistency.
No. There we go. Leads. Think about this, and this is something that I always challenge entrepreneurs on. I've been very blessed to speak at all over the world, and I was doing 250,000 miles a year before I got married. Now I just stay at home for the most part. But we as entrepreneurs are constantly thinking about the customer, about the sale, about how to make our operations better, but we sometimes forget about the number one thing that we need to grow and eventually sell the company is leads. We have to, and that's what I love what Michael talked about. When Michael talked about it, I don't know where he's at, but Michael Neely in the back, the first way I grew a list of 80,000 was just a success with a bunch of other people emailing for me. I had no list at all, but I got a bunch of other people to come speak, and I was the guy that promoted it, or was the face of it, and they all sent emails, and an amazing tool to be able to generate tons of quality leads for free. So we had to figure out, how do we generate tons of leads, and how do we do it systematically? Because if we can systemize our lead flow, we can then start to make money every single day. And I know there's a lot of speakers here, and authors here, and coaches here, and we do this too at Power Team. We understand that, you can only speak so many times, but you still have to systemize your leads every single day, so that we know that we're getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 leads a day. Yes? Yes? Okay, so leads are important. 2, what does the customer care about?
What's in it for them?
Themselves, right? And I think, and I don't mean to upset anyone or piss anyone off, but I think sometimes we as entrepreneurs put ourselves way too much in the front and don't talk about the customer enough. When I go to most people's pages, if I go to your squeeze page, what does the squeeze page say on it?
Here's what you get.
No, it's here's me talking about me, here's a free gift. I mean, when I look at most people's pages, right, and I think this is a really important part of the process, that if you want to figure out how to convert better, most people's squeeze pages. And let's talk, I think the squeeze page capture page is the most important part of any process because that's where we capture the what? The lead, right? And most people's pages have a few things on it. It's 1, 2, or 3 things. Usually they have some sort of a video, correct? They have some copy, correct?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Yep.
I hate giving lectures, I love having conversations. How do conversations work? 2 ways. Did someone say 3? Interesting. Hopefully this isn't recorded. And then we ask for information, yes? Okay. So the average amount of time that someone spends on a site before they leave is how long?
30 seconds.
I wish it was a little longer. It's like 10. 10 is the average, right? And the average video on the internet is how long? I don't know. Can we all agree it's 30 seconds? Yes. So I always ask the first question about conversion. This is so important. If the average video is 30 seconds, but the average amount of time that someone stays on a web page is 10 seconds, is 30 seconds more or less than 10? And people challenge me on this all the time, but it's really hard to challenge math. Because math is correct, yes?
Yes.
Right? And so if you have a video here that's 30 seconds long, and the average amount of time that someone spends is 10, most times that this video is not going to get a conversion because, or a high conversion because you have too many people what? Leaving. That's challenge 1. Challenge 2, which is so important, is the customer cares about who? We said this earlier. Themselves. Good. If the customer cares about themselves and you have a video that's, hi, this is me talking about me, I'm great, most of the times they do what? Now I think this is important to understand that, do you agree that the easiest way and one of the best ways to build a business is built through a what? Relationships, yes? Yes? And you want to start a relationship off on a good note, because if you start a relationship off on a bad note, it usually doesn't prosper into anything, yes or no? Good. You ever been on a first date and the person's puking in the bathroom? You didn't go on the second date, right? Or maybe you did, and you're the one that said 3. I don't know. That's fine too. Whatever you're into is cool. But you have to realize that most of these people are leaving these pages because of that one reason. The customer doesn't care about us day 1. The customer cares about after you've created some kind of, and what we use here at when I'm listening to, we use this word value a lot, yes? But what is value truly? No, it's a made-up word. Because the value of something that we don't use is what? Nothing. So the customer cares about, and this is a really important word that I talk about and use every single day, is that, and I think human beings do everything all day long based upon this word. The word is result. For example, did any of you shower this morning? Why? You didn't have to. Someone probably didn't. If you're next to them, I'm sorry. But it's the result of being clean. Why'd you come on this cruise? You came for the results, right? To shower you. First time for everything, I guess. But it's a results-oriented thing. If I told you you were going to come here and not a single thing was going to change in your life, you weren't going to have that good of a time, and you were going to go home and be done, would you be here? No, you came here for a specific result, and that we do everything all day long based upon results, yes? And so what I want you to start to give away is stop giving away the value and start giving away the result. Because if you can give away the results, you start to have a higher conversion. That's what this all comes down to, is we need to increase our conversion so we could then make more money and serve more people, yes? Okay, good. Second, and this is one of the most important things that I think we as entrepreneurs start to mess up on massively. Have you ever been to a page that you're giving away a free gift of some sort? Whatever your free gift is fine, but the giveaway is give me your email, phone number, and name. Yes? Ever seen those? You don't have to say if you have that or don't have that, that's fine. What's your name right here? Yes, your name? Captude? Captude. Okay, so pretend we're not here, pretend we're at a bar, and pretend we don't know each other. Fair? Hey, what's your name? Captude, it's great to meet you. What's your email, phone number, and where you live? And if you do that, I'll give you a free drink. I mean, gift. There's always one. But see, I think it's important to understand that when you're marketing online, and this is the marketer's crew, so I think you guys all market online, yes? When you're marketing online, there's no difference in the conversation that you're having. You're still talking to another what? A human being, right? And human beings build relationships the same way we do online, offline. I think we have to start to understand that. And so, but if I just come up to you and say, hey, what's your name? We start a conversation, we build a relationship. Later on in the conversation, I might ask for more details. But day one, step one, I don't do that. I just get what I need to start the relationship, yes? And so I think it's really important to understand that stop asking for so much shit day one. You don't need to do the whole shebang within the first 5 minutes. You start to build it over time. And so what we've done for the last, ever since COVID and started before COVID, is we stopped asking for first names, we stopped asking for emails. The only thing we ask for is a cell phone. And so what we want pages to look like are very traditional, where it's just a little bit of copy and then some info. And I want to say, like, I learned a lot of this from Mike Phil-Sam at Stompernet when I was like 17 years old. He said, stop asking for so much shit, just ask for the really simple stuff. And you ask for simple stuff, you get higher conversion. If you get higher conversion, you sell a lot more, yes? And so what we want a page to look like is just, here's some copy. And the copy is focused on two things. What is the copy focused on? Them and the result they are going to receive. Also, not to beat a dead horse, but what is the goal of giving somebody something away for free? No, everyone says get their contact, get their lead. The goal of us giving away something for free is for them to get something out of it. So for example, if you give away stuff for free that you know nobody gives a shit about, stop doing that. Give away something for free that people are going to actually what? Value. No, not value. Use. Because if I can give you something for free that you actually use, you have a much higher chance of doing what? Of buying. For example, I know a lot of us in here give away ebooks. I've been guilty of the same thing. When's the last time we actually read an ebook? No idea. You know, you want to give away something for free that they're going to use immediately. I'm not saying that stuff can't come later, and it will come later, but like day one, what I like to give away for free is really simple. 5 simple tips that take less than 5 minutes to read. Tip number 1, run on the treadmill. Tip number 2, do the no elevator challenge. So you have to walk up all these stairs every single day to get a little healthier. Tip number 3, eat better. Tip number 4, do 10 push-ups. If you haven't done 10 push-ups in 6 months, and you do 10 push-ups, and this 5 tips is just how to get a little bit healthier, you're going to feel something. When you feel something, you've now generated a what? A result. If you generate a result, they have a much higher chance of coming back and doing what? Buying. Good. Then, lastly, I know I'm going fast here. The only thing we ask for is a cell phone. Why? It comes down to how technology works. See, I think it's really important to communicate with people how we communicate. And I will say, we were at the pool last night and we were joking about how, our phones are like our 6th digit now. If you don't have the internet package on here, bless your soul. I don't know how you would do it, right? You need that because it's part of us at this point. And with that being said, is how we communicate 9 times out of 10 is via text. We don't email anymore. You still email per se, but most of our email has been so inundated with junk that we don't check it to the same amount. I mean, you wake up every single morning. If you've had an email account for more than 10 years, you wake up every single morning with 100+ emails in your inbox, and how many of them do you actually read? Zero. Now, do you read your texts in the morning?
Yes.
You read every single one of them pretty much.
Yes.
And do you respond to them in a timely manner?
Yes.
So, we need to stop doing things in the past and start to communicate with how our customers are communicating back to us. So start using texting. I'm not going to tell you which process or which service to use, but you definitely want to start texting your customers. And then it comes to afterwards. Now we have to have a really deep, how am I on time, by the way? Guess enough. Which is fine. After this process, and I know it's important to get in the sale, and we're going to get in that, but we have to have a follow-up, a conversation that actually walks them down a path that generates them results quickly. Does this make sense? Say yes? Mm-hmm. You're like, no, tequila, please. So, text number 1 is that, does anyone do this? And this drives me kind of crazy. Do you ever say thank you for opting in? Yes, like in your email follow-up list?
Have you ever bought someone a drink and then said, "Thank you for letting me buy you that drink"? No, right? So we don't have to thank them right away. They should technically be thanking who? Us, because we are giving them something that's going to generate a result if they actually what? Use it. So we need to change our ways a little bit for how everyone else does it. Everyone in the planet, or most people that are on the planet that are marketers, the first thing they say is, "Thank you for opting in, here's your free gift." Stop that shit. Stop thanking them for us giving something for free. Literally say something along the lines of, "Here's your free gift." And what I like to tell people to do is literally, you should print this out and put it next to your computer. Or print this out and put it next to wherever you are going to see it every single day, because if they see your free gift every single day, they have a much higher chance of what? Using it. Save it to your screensaver on your iPhone, because we're looking at that what? All the time. We need to get them to take actions to generate the result as quickly as possible. So step one is literally just remind them to use it. Step two is you want to, it's not sell time yet. We want to invite them to what's called an active community. I think we're all very aware of how powerful and important active communities are. I love what Lou was talking about. He's like, yeah, our commission process is dog shit, but you will promote it because you love the community. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll promote it. You know, do we pay anything? No, not really. Won't even pay for one night of gambling, but you will promote it because you love the community. And if you can build a community, there's not a single other person in here, us including, that can tell, like, man, I would love, hey, oh yeah, sell us 50 grand worth of stuff, we'll cut you a check for two what? Grand. I would get laughed at. But if you build a community that's strong enough, you will get people to do it. So we want to invite people day one to some form of active community, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's a WhatsApp group, whether it's a free membership. We want to send someone to a place where there are other people having conversation about how great we are at getting them what? Results. Does that make sense? Good. Text 3. This is when you can start to finally make some form of either an offer or send them to what's called a corporate site, which we all have corporate sites. Corporate sites are typically websites that have tons of what? Information on them. Home, about us, contact us, products, services, videos, testimonials. And we have these sites and we use them wrong sometimes because we send people to them right away when they're not familiar with us. When they're not familiar with us, they do something that's what every human being does. We leave. We get confused. When we get confused, we leave. And so I call it the Cheesecake Factory problem, because when you go there once, you order the same thing every single time because the menu's so massive. But it's the same thing here. Once they become familiar with us, they'll actually go through our stuff and make a better decision. And then 4 obviously is so this could be corporate site or offer. Sorry, my handwriting's not good. I've been typing way too long. Text 4 is you either want to send them to like a Calendly link to book a call, or to an offer, or to wherever place you want to send them to actually make some form of money. Is this good? Is this helpful so far? Say yes? Yeah. Cool. I'm going to be here until, when do we get to Curacao? Tomorrow? No, not yet. Not soon. I leave in 3 days. I'll be here for 3 days. How long? 3 days. I'm unfortunately leaving early. Why? Because I'm going to St. Thomas mostly for that reason. But I'm going to St. Thomas for a wedding on the 12th or the 13th for a week. So don't feel bad for me that I'm leaving. I'm coming right back here. I'm just going back to pick up a bag and my wife, which will be cool. But I'm totally here to help you guys, serve you guys. I like to stay in the background for the most part over the last few years since COVID. COVID was so nice in the sense that I didn't have to travel and stuff. It's crazy, actually. COVID was crazy because, and I'm sure some of you guys got this, but when you've told people your entire life, like, yeah, you have to sell online, you got to sell your shit online, you got to market online, and then COVID hit and everyone's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I know. Woo, wild. But I'll be here for the next few days to help you guys out. If you want me to go through your stuff, spend some time looking at some of the processes that you have. I run all of Power Team's online programs. So we have a Mobex Pro, which is our text message marketing process that all your keywords and text messaging for the entire year basis is less than $1,000.
and I'm here to help you guys with whatever online conversions and stuff that you have challenges with. I didn't want to speak today, but I'm happy that I did to spend some time with you guys. Is that okay? Say yes. Yeah, I'll see you guys around. If you got anything, just grab me. I'm here to help.
Cool. So Walsh, as always expected, amazing. And I'm going to see him in St. Thomas. I live in St. Thomas. We're going to connect and have some fun in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. So that's going to be some treat right there. If we can have the screen come down in a second. Watch your head, Lou. The screen's going to come down. If we can have that come down real quickly. Y'all are in for a treat. This is going to be super fun. We got another presentation that's coming up with a group leader showcase, and Lou has a very important announcement as well to make real quickly.
So it's been a long day, and who's ready for some fun in the sun at the ABC Islands? So there's the Punchliner Comedy Club coming in here at 6 o'clock that they have to kind of clean up and reset the room. So they're going to be throwing us out of here at 5:15. When? 5:15. Now I'm sounding like Bill and Austin. Okay, so Melanie from My Compass Tours is back in the room. She had to take a bio break, grab a bite to eat, and on the way out, she will help you with any last-minute questions, information about your excursions. What you should have done, and I don't mean to should on anybody, is print out the vouchers that have the instructions and the meeting times for where you're going if you book with Melanie on our private tours. I won't be around. I'll be following the instructions and going on one of those tours each day, just like you are. But I printed mine out, old school, because what if my phone dies? I'm like an old school guy, right? How close are we to getting started and playing that video? Are we ready? This is an interesting story about the next person. And by the way, we're pushing 2. We have so many leaders this year that we couldn't fit them in before 5 p.m. So Dan the Money Man, who remembers Dan from TV fame from years? Oh my goodness, Dan the Money Man is here with us. He's 79 years old, but boy, you've been eclipsed now. We had an 80-year-old group leader with Susie Pruden. Wasn't Susie terrific? I think I might have heard a price in her offer, but I may give her a pass as if I didn't hear it, right? Oh, it was free. No way, she's giving her $9.97 course for free? Oh, fabulous. That's even better. Okay. And so Dan the Money Man has graciously agreed to be pushed to Friday morning, our next session when we do the business building, burning questions and business building breakthroughs. We still have a keynote from Mike Hossein coming up. We've got lots of stuff coming up. Tonight is open seating dinner in Reflections Dining Room. Some VIP little groups have gotten together for the alternate restaurants. There's a lot going on or about. But okay, are we ready now?
No.
Are we ready now?
No.
This is the same video technical challenge we had earlier, and he's going to walk into the back to have the good man do it from the rear. So
Okay, so.
hello, hello, hello.
Whoa!
I love the dirty-minded marketer crews. Give yourselves a round of applause. Woo! Sticking in here, hanging top like this is crazy. So we're going to do this improvise, adapt, and overcome. Oh, what do you say? No?
So either the video plays or it doesn't play, because I want to start doing the intro right now.
Okay.
And tell everybody, there was a person that came on the Marketers Cruise for the first time last year, and he went ahead and after group finalization booked the Marketers Cruise. You know, some roommate situation with a friend, a mastermind buddy, whatever. And that's when he said, Captain Lou, when can I start promoting the January cruise? And I said, everybody's finished. We finalized the group, everyone's paid. He said, no. I've got to have my 5 captains because the Marketers Cruise has changed my life. And we've got a mastermind group together. And help me. I got any cancellations that come up, please don't give it back to Carnival. Let me know so I can bring my buddies on and that everyone's going to benefit from the cruise. And please let me be a group leader if I make it to the 5. And I think he made it to the 5 cabins about 7 hours before we boarded. It's some crazy ass situation that we'll save for another time.
And we made it happen, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a treat. Joshua Fleming, the Baron of Buzz, is up next. and you're going to see something amazing. Joshua Fleming is a seasoned entrepreneur with a rich background spanning 25 plus years. He's rejuvenated 800 plus businesses and collaborated with over 1,000 professionals to enhance their business, health, and lifestyle pursuits. Currently, Joshua is a CMO for local Digital Buzz and also serves as a fractional CMO for various companies. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Joshua Fleming!
Son, you know once you start, there's no going back. This means total commitment. Once you begin the path, there is no leaving the path.
Okay, how are you guys doing today? All right. So, well, this is a little atypical. Typically, you don't see this many people on stage for this part of the event. So thank you all for your patience while we were getting this set up. This is the High Tide Mastermind. We're going to go ahead and pull the screen up so we have a little more room. But with that said, just real quick, 30 seconds again. I'm the Baron of Buzz, Joshua Fleming. I've been doing this for over 25 years. This is not my favorite place to be. I like to stay behind the scenes, but we're going to make the best of it. So, my co-host today, Samitri, is a professional speaker, and so we're going to let her help me out with this process today. So, how did you exactly turn your pain into profits? You mentioned that yesterday. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, for me, turning my pain into profit means, turning my pain into profit is where I took what happened to me and I put my purpose in between it. Sometimes we have a story and your story can be very powerful, but if you don't know that power, other people can take it from you. So I put my purpose in between it, so I turn my pain into my purpose and I use my purpose to make a profit so people don't have to use me anymore.
That's good.
Thank you. So, coming back to you, everybody's wondering why we have all these people up here, and if you guys can come in a little bit closer, please make it look good. Thank you. Come on. All right, got to do a little due diligence. But, so with you, what is the High Tide Mastermind, and how did all of this come to play?
Absolutely. So if you are a founding member, raise your hand. All right. So, and we're missing one, but last year a bunch of people came here alone, but we didn't leave alone. Who came here alone this year? Who wants to leave alone this year? Exactly. Okay, so I would suggest reaching out to anybody on this cruise that you're connecting with, having a good time, and then keeping that conversation going. The High Tide Mastermind is all about keeping the fun and conversations from this cruise going for the rest of the year, because when y'all get off this cruise, if this is not your first cruise, you know that there's a lot of momentum that's going to come out of here. So much momentum. Usually it's like getting shot with a fire hose. So you need a team or a group of people that are experiencing that process with you. If not, you're going to kind of feel left alone. So the High Tide Mastermind is about keeping the conversation going, the fun going, and we're on day 3. We've already had a lot of fun, guys. We were cutting the rug last night. We have some adventures going. And so that's what the High Tide Mastermind is, just really for us to network. And without Captain Lou and what they've done for the past 17 years, we wouldn't be up here right now. So thanks to them.
All right, and the only thing I'll add to that is that at the end of the day, Captain Lou kept saying over and over again, we weren't going to bring everybody up here. Josh was going to come up here by himself, but he said, let us show them what Captain Lou was talking about, what happens when you don't just make it about yourself, but together everyone achieves more. He shared the stage with all of us to give us a little bit of this light, and I just want to say thank you, Joshua, so you can go ahead and start the questions.
Absolutely. Okay, first one, we know this guy, Zero, okay? We heard him yesterday. So, Lance Thompson, why do you call yourself Zero? What does that mean?
Maybe some of y'all didn't hear me yesterday. I am a United States veteran. Two clap. Hoorah. Hoorah. Ooh-yah. Ooh-yah. Hoorah. Hoorah. Look left. Let me tell you something. Everyone said that they needed action. Massive action requires discipline. That's what we provide.
Thank you, Lance. You're up. Oh, no, I'm up.
You
okay. Greg Hatton.
So y'all didn't really hear from him yesterday, but is it true you bought an Army base? And exactly how are you helping veterans right now with No Homeless Vet?
Yes, in 2003, we bought an Army base in Sidney, Nebraska, about 88,000 square foot of residential space, 244,000 of commercial. Bought out my partners on the residential side in 2012, and then COVID hit. Starting to see a lot of veteran suicides, and that was, what can I do? What can I do about that? And it really hit me when I started seeing other Special Ops and Marines committing suicide, because I kind of thought we were exempt from that. I didn't think that was possible in our community. So in 2019, I started NoHomelessVets.org, and from there, if a veteran is struggling, doesn't have a place to live, doesn't have money, come on out. I'll take care of them. Rent free and utilities free.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right, next we got Peter. I don't know if y'all heard him yesterday, but he said that he makes businesses sexy. And what you say about a Rolls Royce, he said, tell me, how do you help your clients use the two things that you do the best, which is sexiness and authenticity, in order to grow and scale their business?
Okay, so when it comes to sexiness, right, I believe that everybody does everything, right? There's like 20,000 people offering you the same thing. So the only thing that differentiates ourselves from each other is how sexy it looks when I first see it. So I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm not gonna stop unless something is striking, right? When I walk into a room, I command attention. That's on purpose. Because if you see me, it leaves wonder. So if you don't leave wonder, how can you lead to any sale, right? Because I don't wanna see no boring shit, excuse my language. So, and authenticity is, I'm tired of being sold things that people haven't done. Don't sell me a Rolls Royce, you drive a Honda. You get what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if you be your authentic self, I promise you, you can win. Hey, listen, I didn't have that good of a month this month, but, and then you just be transparent with your audience, I promise you that'll get you way further.
That's awesome. Thank you. Peter Parker also is a pretty well-known and famous music video producer. So if anybody's in that space, reach out to him. Okay, Mark, you're next. So I heard a little birdie told me that you are with a company valued at over $38 million. Let me ask you, what value did you see in joining the High Tide Mastermind?
After the cruise last year, I saw so much value in the relationships. And when I got invited into the mastermind, there's so much experience, so much relationship, so much depth. All these eyes and minds on my business, and I bring my gifts to them. It was just something special. You can find yours, you can join ours, but be in community.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. So next we have the beautiful lady Day. Bill Walsh mentioned influencer marketing. And it's funny because I didn't hear anybody else say that, you know. Bill's always on top of it. So Day, being that you do and specialize in influencer marketing, what is influencer marketing and how do you help your customers find these so-called influencers?
So influencer marketing is exactly that, influence. So I find, hello? Okay. So influencer marketing is exactly that. People who have massive followings, massive influence. So my company is called The Viral House, and I match my client or product to the influencer. So I've already been able to build a list, and I match them. And if you keep posting and you're getting 40 views, I'm the one that makes you go viral with my influencers. And then help me make them sexy.
Get it, girl.
Okay, so next up is Nick. Nick's one of our founding members. He's also an attorney. So Nick, let me ask you a question. A lot of people have heard about Rockefeller. You mentioned that, but who's the Vanderbilts?
If you study any of the older families, some of these great wealthy families around the world, you'll see Vanderbilt. Anybody heard of Commodore Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of you have. The Vanderbilt family, they had a tremendous amount of wealth. It was ended up wasted. A lot of the second generation tried to cling to it. Third generation, a lot less. You see that a lot with wealthy families. A lot of us here have wealth. What's it going to look like for us when we pass away? Is everything going to get squandered by the next generation? Third generation, usually there's an old saying, shirt sleeves is shirt sleeves. How many of you, though, have heard of the Rockefellers? Yeah? The Rockefellers did it brilliantly. They set up a trust. There's another great family, the Rothschilds. Anybody heard of them? Yeah. You study these great families. There's modern families. You check out any of the presidents here recently. Do you think they have a trust? Yeah. There are different reasons to set up a trust. You could try to avoid probate,
You could try to get step-up basis, you could try to shield your assets from a nursing home, or you try to protect yourself from creditors and lawsuits, right? I bet you, if you have a trust right now, if you're the trustee, or if you have a United States trustee, unfortunately, you don't have any asset protection from creditors. So talk to us, come join the mastermind, we can get you more information.
Yeah, also he's a specialist in onshore and offshore asset protection too, so if you need some help with that.
Nice. All right, so I got a question for everybody. Who about to pay their taxes? I'm just playing. So, being that tax season is right around the corner, I got a question for you, Sterling, Mr. Tax Expert. How can we really save with tax mitigation strategy?
Well, generally speaking, you could actually save anywhere from 30%. You could save between 30% or more. I just got through helping an attorney get rid of 90% of his tax liability. In fact, if you do proper planning, you can actually create a negative tax in this year and carry it back to 2022 and reduce your taxes from what you previously owed. So there's plenty of ways out there to do it. All of them are legal, all of them are moral. I wouldn't allow you to do anything illegal, and I won't do it. My gift to you, if you'd like to take 10 minutes of my time and talk to me now, or if you'd like to pull out your cell phone and text me, go into my system, I'll give you 20 minutes free. I'm charging around $1,000 an hour. Text tax to 26786, put your information in, and then you'll get invited to different things and get a free report. But otherwise, you can pull me aside here.
Awesome, thank you, Sterling. If you came up with Sterling and Nick, you got a very secret sauce right there. All right, so who's next? Mark. All right, so Mark, why should people care about AI right now? I know you've made a course and stuff like that, but real quick, why should they care about it?
So Tom and Don and a couple others have talked about the need to replace yourself in the business and to do just as much with half as much time. That's basically where automations comes in. And this is a lot more than just shooting off some emails and typing in some ChatGPT prompts. So imagine, if you will, you're the MVP on a sports ball team. You, the entrepreneur, are the captain. Your tools are the teammates that you have. And just to top it off, the coaches, I'll sit for the big game. Imagine how much chaos there's going to be if none of those teammates are in sync and are communicating properly the team strategy. So replace that with a grade A Olympic level coach. All the athletes and all your team members are working in sync to make those goals. Imagine how much further in the game you can go if you have a team like that. That's basically what automations does for business.
Awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, next we have Paul Brown. So, the number one thing that all businesses need is funding. Now, I know you got a lot of people, millions in funding, including yourself. Let me ask you, tell everybody, how do you break the code and find the formula for getting funding for individuals at every stage of their business from start to finish?
Thank you. So working in formula-free funding and getting so many people funded, including myself, the secret was the realization that everyone has access to incredibly more funding than they realize, and even not just amounts, but types. In fact, that's true of your clients, and for most people in this room and most of your clients, you have access to an unlimited amount of funding and an unlimited amount of entities in which you can create funding for your business.
All right, everybody, give this beautiful, beautiful panel a round of applause. Come on up, Joshua. Come on up, come on up, come on up. So, I got one question for you. What's coming in 2024? What does the High Tide Mastermind got on their waves?
All right, so if last year 5 guys came by themselves and we have this many people on stage, next year we're trying to double or triple this. We want that 1 hour, Captain Lou, so that's what we're going after.
Yeah.
We also are opening a group up publicly now to the Marketers Cruisers. We've been private all year. We've resisted the urge to allow people in that wanted to come in, so we're opening that up. Anybody that's on the cruise this year that wants to participate, there's no charge. All right, we just want you to show up, participate, add value, and get some value out of it. We're also going to be planning some destination events, and so that's what we have coming down the pipeline.
Great. So today, right after, if anybody wants to get to us, I know you guys are tired, but we're going to be at the pool at the Sunset and Success is what we're calling it. We're going to be
Tides pool in the back of the boat.
Tides pool in the back of the boat. So everybody up here did a great job, and I know, Joshua, our shirt says elevating entrepreneurs one wave at a time. When a wave comes, you have to ride it. Everybody up here has something to give, and all of us are riding this wave together because we cannot do nothing by ourselves, and that is why we want to celebrate the individuals who actually got us here in the first place. So, can I have our founders, Captain Lou,
And Tom.
and there's one more. I'm like, you're leaving me hanging here, Joshua. Mike's not here? Okay. So we have a special gift for you. We just wanted to show you a gift of gratitude.
Face this way.
Yeah. Yeah, we just wanted to give them a t-shirt to tell them thank you so much for being here with us.
These guys do a wonderful job. Thank y'all so much. All right.
Thank you.
So again, if y'all want to hook up with us after the thing, we're getting in bathing suits. We're going back there for Sunsets and Success. We're going to have a good time. Anybody wants to sit down with a tax strategist, attorney, anybody like that, you got the time.
Is that a skinny dipping mastermind?
No, we don't want to get kicked off the boat.
And if you're looking for us,
Maybe in
just
Aruba.
find us, and you can scan the back of our shirt if you need our information.
Yeah, that's right. We got a QR code right there.
Somebody has a question.
So everybody, we're running
The
out of
tide
time.
pool.
I've got some announcements. Let's
Tide
hear
pool in
it.
the back of the boat.
Let's hear it for Joshua Fleming and his high tide. This is pretty cool, right? We're, proving, thanks everybody, proving that we're all strangers until we become friends, right? Somebody said to me the other day, I haven't been here in like 9 or 10 years. I don't know anyone, a lot of new people here. Well, the world has evolved. It's time you step up, step out of your comfort zone and make some friends. And many of you made a lot of friends, right? How many of you have still not been to Pizza and Profits? Okay, so that happens after all the, we want you to really, guys, we want you to enjoy your time on the ship and on the islands, not just our program. So today was the longest day. You made it through it, but was it worth it?
Give yourselves a round of applause. You sat through some amazing presentations. You're there, you're taking notes. Let's hear it. Give yourselves a round of applause. It takes showing up, ladies and gentlemen. 9/10 of the success is knowing how to do what's yours to do, and showing up is part of it. So well done on that. And
Right. Woody Allen said 80% of success, but we can make it 90 if you like, is just showing up. So a lot of people make excuses, some people take action. The action takers are the money makers, you guys know that. So here's what's happening next, because we're not gonna see you back in this lounge until Friday morning. Friday morning, is it at 10 a.m.? Did somebody look at the schedule?
Well, and also we had to move a couple of the 15-minute presentations to Friday morning. So Andrea had people skip the pool to come here. So for those who stick around for Andrea, thank you. However, with, as you saw, the massive amount of presentations we had to bump her and one other. So
here's what's happening. I'm going to run and get another ice cream, Soft Swirl, my 12th one, and that's like my coffee. I love those ice creams. Not the frozen yogurt. Why be healthy?
Friday 10 a.m. Friday 10 a.m. Lou. Yeah.
Okay, so Friday is at 10 a.m. Okay, so before that you've got not ABC but BAC. We've got Bonaire tomorrow. Well, let's back it up. We've got open seating dinner tonight in the Reflections Dining Room at 8:15. Where there, if you go in straight and then make a right, there are at least 3 or 4 singles tables. If anyone's single and wants to mingle, my wife came up with that idea. You'll see placards on our section tables. Anywhere that you'd like to sit in the section, it's you go straight and you make a right. It's the entire 2/3 to your right. But you'll see all the table 10 cards, and the maitre d' and dining staff will help you with that. If you put together small groups to go to an alternative restaurant, fantastic. There are still some restaurants that have times and availability. So if you guys want to try something different, there's several different fantastic restaurants. I think where are we going tonight? I think Phyllis has got us at Pig and Anchor Barbecue or something like that. But anyway, there's so much going on around the ship. Just last night we found the 70s and 80s band that's playing right before the Havana Club, and there was salsa and Latin music over there. There was Motown, I think, over here, right? Lots of stuff going on.
And the group photo after Curacao. Group photo, 5 p.m. Curacao afterwards.
So this is very important. Thanks for reeling me in, Tom. Because we're not meeting here until Friday morning, back again, let's make it a few minutes before 10. Let's everybody get in their seats by 9:45. Go up and have breakfast so we can start on time at 10 a.m. But before that, on Thursday when we come back from Curacao, yes, get out the Marketers Cruise t-shirts and meet up at 5 p.m. Is it 5 p.m.? Up at the Tides Pool which is the aft on the Lido deck. That's where pizza and profit starts. That's where the pizza is. Now, some people stay outside with their pizza, and some people ask you, where is Pizza and Profits? Well, you gotta find the pizza. And that's at the Tides Pool Deck 10 app, okay? So, yes.
Someone picked up my book with all my notes.
Someone picked up your book, Sterling Louvier.
Inside cover, could you look at the inside cover and make sure you have the right book?
Did you write your name on the back of the book?
I wrote it on the inside cover.
So he had to be different because we're
Well, I know,
marketers.
there's a name on the right.
But there's a name on the inside cover. If somebody found it, you got it. Okay, great. All right. Have the angels been helpful so far?
Yes.
They will be corralling everyone when we come back from Curacao for the group photo. Now, our group photos are infamous for being fabulous. So we want not just you, but if you came with somebody and they're not attending the business sessions, please invite them to come and join you, put their shirt on. So we have all 453 people at the group photo at sunset Thursday after Curacao. Curacao is the only port where we're coming back by 5 o'clock. We have 36 hours in these islands to explore and enjoy in the next 3 days. It's one of the best itineraries, and I've been on 68 cruises. This is one of the best itineraries, giving us the luxurious days at sea to do all of the stuff we need to do, and then actually enjoy the islands and not be rushed back on the boat by 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We're in Bonaire tomorrow till like 10 o'clock at night, right? We are in Aruba till also, 10:30, something like that. So there's nightlife. You can come back on and get a free meal if you want, run back off. I'm gonna go have dinner in Aruba. Although I think I was invited to something on board the ship. I don't know, I'll have 2 dinners, why not, right? So there's so much to see and do. I want you guys to see and enjoy the shows and the music and the piano bar and all the fantastic areas on this spectacular ship, so that there's, we said, a 30%, 70% mix, right? The perfect work-play balance. So it's 30% work, and I think we're doing our part on this, and 70% play. So it's time to start playing. Who's ready to start playing full out? Any final words of wisdom, Mr. Tom Beal?
It's all going to unfold perfectly. Let's get out there, network with the people in here on the Marketers Cruise, have a blast, and here we go. Let's have fun at the BAC.
Because what happens next is
Everything.
everything. All right, guys.